Okay, so I think we're live. It is 1:13. It is 11/9/2025. Um, it is, hey, Paula, how are you? Good to see you. Hey, Mustang, good to see you. Good to see everybody. Let me get rid of this here. Hope everybody's doing well. Got a couple of things to go over tonight. I want to go over the Ryan Larsen case that I was emailed about last week. So we'll do that. I'm going to call that Ryan Larsen 1 because it'll probably be more than one. Yes, it's good to see you too, Paula. Good to see Mustang. Good to see everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. And then I want to go over the true crime cases of the week, obviously. And then, hey, it's Shibby. Good to see Shibby. And then I want to do the Barry Morphew update. There was an update this week on the Barry Morphew case and other cases. So it's good to see everybody. Emails. That's okay. It's okay, Paula. It's all good. I was out to the sanctuary, the Esther sanctuary again tonight, and I was hoping to get that uploaded from my phone. It's Paula here. Paula, sorry, Tracy's here. Hey, good to see you, Tracy. But I wasn't able to transfer that over from my phone yet. So I have to do that after the live. Me and technology. I was hoping. Warn the chip Barry gets loose. Yeah, no kidding. Good to see everybody. Let me play an intro and I'll be right back. It's good to see everybody. Hope everybody's well. Let's see here. We'll do this here. Yeah, he's not allowed to be around chipmunks ever again. All right, here we go. Be right back, guys. Okay, so let's see here. Let's get rid of that. Sorry, I'm kind of unprepared for this today. Hold on 1 second here. Oops, I'm down there. Let's do this here. All right, very good. So like I said, I'm going to try to get into kind of the initial phases here to the Ryan Larsen case. That was forwarded to me in an email. I forget by who now. I can probably figure that out if I go into my email, but we'll go that call that Ryan Larsen 1. I'm pretty sure we're going to have to do 2 or 3, on that there. And then we're going to go over the true crime cases of the week. So let's get to good to see, like I said, good to see everybody. Good to see Sweet Dude Shibby. Paula's in here. Mustang's in here. I know we got Tracy's in here. It's good to see everybody. Been a long week. A long week and a short week, technically. All right, so I do want to start with this here because this is kind of interesting here. I've been following this case here forever, right? Like this case here. Hold on, let me share the screen here. I don't know, whoever's been following true crime for a while. Well, thank you, Mustang. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that. So I don't know, this case here goes back forever, right? This is the Michael Schenkel case with Martha Moxley. I've been following this case for a long time and kind of.
Michael Schenkel's current
Whoops, hold
attorney.
on a second. So Stephen Seeger, an attorney for Michael Skakel, cousin of the Kennedy family, joins NewsNation to discuss the 50-year-old mystery surrounding the unaliving of Martha Moxley. Remember her? Skakel was convicted of the murder in 2002. Before that verdict was overturned so the verdict was overturned. We all know that. So that's the saying here that the Kennedy cousin Michael Skakel did not unalive Martha Moxley. So here we go. This came out a few days ago. So it's strange that this case here is getting a little bit of attention here after 50 freaking years, right? This is all right. So let's go with this here.
Stephen Seeger. Great to have you on. Thank you so much for being here. I have a question that's kind of weird right off the bat. Why does Michael Skakel need an attorney right now? I mean, I know that murder's forever. There's no statute of limitations. Is he looking over his shoulder and thinking it could happen again?
No, right now, the case has been dismissed. I mean,
It's unindicted co-conspirator. Good to see you. This is one of those strange, bizarre cases here.
I was the lawyer at trial after the reversal came through, and the dismissal took place when State's Attorney Colangelo initiating a couple different lawsuits. One is a civil rights lawsuit, and the other is a lawsuit.
All right, hold on a second. Let me back this up here a second. Sorry. Sorry about that.
Joining me now is Michael Skakel's current attorney, Stephen Seeger. Great to have you on. Thank you so much for being here. I have a question that's kind of weird right off the bat. Why does Michael Skakel need an attorney right now? I mean, I know that murder's forever. There's no statute of limitations. Is he looking over his shoulder thinking it could happen again?
No, right now, the case has been dismissed. I mean, I was the lawyer at trial after the reversal came through, and
if anybody's ever watched anything like America's Justice or any of the old time called Forensic Files, all those other cold case stuff, this is like one of those cases that I'm pretty sure everybody's heard. This has been a strange case from the beginning, and I don't know what to make of this. This is weird.
The dismissal took place when State's Attorney Colangelo nullied the case, and by operation of law, it was dismissed. As a result of that, we continued to pursue and try to vindicate Michael's rights by initiating a couple different lawsuits. One is a civil rights lawsuit, and the other is a lawsuit that's asking to have the alleged confessions returned. They've somehow mysteriously just disappeared, and so we launched a lawsuit against the town of Greenwich and the police department, along with Frank Garr, who was the investigator at the State's Attorney's Office and also formerly with the Greenwich Police Department.
So was the case dismissed with prejudice, which means it can never come back?
Well, the case was nullied originally, and in Connecticut, after the nully period expires, 13 months, by operation of law, it's dismissed completely. Dismissed with prejudice is more like a civil concept. I don't really see it too much in the criminal courts, and it's just simply dismissed.
So if he's not looking over his shoulder based on the fear that someone would come back and put him in prison again, is there any exposure for his brother, for Thomas? And all of this happening, by the way, a year after Dorothy Moxley, who we just saw in that package, died. 20 years ago, she said she didn't think she was going to live that long. She lived for another 24 years, and she still believes.
So strange. So let me hold on a second. Hold on a second. I wasn't planning on doing this, but it just came up on my feed here for some strange reason. All right, so let's go here. Fun brownies do help with the old man's appetite. Yeah, brownies are good. Let's do this here. Hold on a second here. So, for those who kind of don't remember this case here, this is Martha Moxley here. Elizabeth, she was born in 1960, August 16th, and was unalived October 30th, 1975. Was a 15-year-old American high school student from Greenwich, Connecticut, who was unalived in 1975. Moxley was last seen alive spending time at the home of the Skakel family across the street from her home in Bellhaven. The case attracted, of course, massive publicity because of the fact that these are all cousins here for the Kennedys. And the Kennedys have been through their share of controversy and stuff like that. But anyways, Skakel, age 15 at the time, was convicted in 2002 of unaliving Moxley and was sentenced to 20 years to life, which is kind of 20 years to life is kind of low. 11 years later, in 2013, Skakel was granted a new trial by the Connecticut judge, and eventually he was it was overturned, apparently. The 45th anniversary of Moxley's murder, the state of Connecticut announced it would not retry. So they didn't want to go through that again, apparently. I don't think they had. I don't want to say I don't think they had sufficient evidence, but I don't think they were going to get a verdict to go their way. Even I'm kind of delusional about, because it's been so long. So it's this case here is so this is kind of like the breakdown of it. On the evening of October 30th, which is basically like 2 weeks ago, 50 years ago, Martha Moxley left with her friends to participate in the teenage stuff here in the neighborhood. Youth would ring bells and pull pranks such as toilet papering houses. I remember doing that. According to friends, Moxley began flirting with and eventually kissed Thomas Skakel, the older brother of Michael Skakel. Moxley was last seen falling together behind the fence with Thomas near the pool. So this case here, I mean, you can go over it if you want, but Thomas Skakel was the last person seen with Moxley on the night of the unaliving. He became the prime suspect, but his father, this whole case, so you guys can go through this. We'll go back to the video. Hold on a second here. Doodles and Gray is here. Good to see you. Let's see here. I like eating the edges and corners of brownies best. Yeah, the burnt parts are perfect. Just like lasagna. It's the same thing. All right, let's go back to this here. Hold on 1 second. This is strange how this, I don't know why this would be coming out now. It's weird. Unless maybe there's something going on we don't know about. I don't know.
I think she believed it was Michael. But there was always that suspicion that maybe his brother Thomas had something to do with it. Is Thomas exposed?
He was originally. I mean, I would be up to the state's attorney's office if they're pursuing a case. I've never heard anything about Tommy being pursued as a consequence of Michael's dismissal. But he was one of the prime suspects, of course, because
there's so many of these cases, right? You go through the years and they all become almost like one huge conglomerate case, right? You just forget the details and stuff like that. But I remember this one in particular because I followed this for a while. But look at how old he is now. Holy crap.
He was the individual that was last seen with her. He was of the size and the body build that would more likely fit the bill.
It's Peggy O. Peggy O's here. Good to see Peggy O. They have those brownie pans that look like a hash. They're just too. Yeah, this is crazy. It's good to see Peggy O in here. Always good to see Peggy O in here. Always good to see Shibby. Doodles and Gray is here. Always good to see everybody. Hope everybody's having a good night. Hope I didn't step on any toes going live tonight because I think yeah, he's out. He's been out for a while. I know that I think Charles was live tonight.
Of a person who could have committed this heinous crime with a golf club with a brute force and then be able to drag a body. If you compare that to Michael, what he looked like when he was 15, he looked like a little girl at that point. And there's a lot of things. So you mentioned the podcast at the beginning of the show. There's a lot of things that will come out that people have never heard before. So, for
Like
example, you're going to hear from witnesses who gave statements that weren't used.
It's hard to believe that anything could come out that people haven't heard before, right? Like I mean, this case here, I don't want to say it's the original first true crime type thing, but it's close.
You're going to hear about other evidence that we could not introduce, and I don't want to spoil the podcast and what it brings to the table, but I think the narrative is already changing, and it will change a lot more. And the reason for that is kind of simple. It's in a court of law, you have the rules of evidence, and when the media comes into a courtroom, they film and they write about what.
Yeah, I don't understand how there could be anything going on with this case here, but you never know, man.
They hear in court, and there's certain parameters that exist in the context of a criminal case. Everybody knows that your client can't talk. I mean, he has no obligation to talk and not to talk in most cases. But between the rules of evidence and what you can and can't say and how you advise a client at trial, there's a lot of the story that gets left behind. And I mean, that's the purpose of the appellate court, to.
Hold on 1 second here. The news reports say there's proof he could not have committed this crime. Any idea why that was left out of I have no idea. It's just this case here is just it's so untransparent, so to speak.
Sort of look over the shoulder of the trial court if something is happening with evidence, but it's a different story, different format. The podcast will surprise people, to be sure.
Well, I have just a couple seconds left, but I want to ask you, he said I was just the fall guy, and I wonder if he wants to find the real killer, if only to clear his name.
Are you kidding me? Like, no. Oh.
Or does he want this whole thing behind him? He wants to just crawl away and never see a press or a headline or a police officer again.
Michael and Martha were friends. Of course, he'd like to be able to serve up the real killer. And what I know for sure is that it's not him. In terms of putting something like this behind you, it's very difficult. It's wishful.
Yeah, cases like this here, you just sit there and you say, this is going to tie into the other case that I'm going to go over tonight, the Sandra Birchmore case. Like, it's always the victim that suffers. It's never the people that did this. But who knows in this case, man? This
wishful thinking to a large extent. What he means by fall guy is you got a lead investigator in this case, for example, who has a book deal with an investigator that's supposed to be turning into a movie deal, and he's got an economic interest in it. And that's just one example of how the deck of cards is stacked against him. And
it's like this poor kid, just sucks.
The reason why I mention this, a lot of people say, oh, he's a Kennedy cousin, and therefore he's got special treatment. Well, I don't know, with that kind of power and influence that people speculate about, how he lands in jail for 11 and a half years. It's ludicrous to believe that. He didn't do the crime. He wasn't anywhere near it.
I am fascinated. I want you to keep us posted, if you would, about the suit against Greenwich and the lead police investigator, and hope to see you back on the program when there's some movement there. Thanks so much for this tonight.
It's just weird, just bizarre. I'll have to keep following that because I don't know why that's coming up now. But hey, who am I? I don't know. I shared Dave should be bumped soon. That's awesome. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, this is going to be a case that goes unsolved for sure. And even if somebody comes up with something, it probably won't be believable anyways. I mean, there's nothing believable in that case. It just isn't. All right, so moving right along here. We'll go to this case here. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. This was a couple of hours ago. The report on MDSO Deputy Devin Jaramillo's unaliving. Miami-Dade Sheriff Rosie Cordero Stutz updated the public on Saturday about the deputy who was unalived on Friday in the Kendall District Court. I don't know if you guys have been following this here. I kind of have been, kind of have not been, but this came out yesterday. So here we go with this.
Good afternoon to you. We are breaking into our regular scheduled programming for some breaking news. The Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office set to update us on the slain deputy killed in the line of duty yesterday. We want to show you a live look right now at the press conference being hosted by MDSO as they are set to get underway. We just received that 2-minute warning from our reporter Brett Neese, who is there right now. You can see that background of MDSO. On Saturday, just to recap you, if you weren't with us yesterday evening, detectives are investigating the murder of Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office Deputy Devin Jaramillo. It happened Friday in the Kendall District. Miami-Dade Sheriff Rosie Cordero Stutz announcing Jaramillo at...
Wow, I was way off. Sorry about that. Jaramillo. Perfect.
27 years old, was brutally attacked after responding to a traffic crash in the 1200 block of Southwest 128th Street. We want to send things out to our Walter Murphy, who is out there following this live. Walter, can you describe to us what the mood is like outside of the medical examiner's office as we await this press conference?
Well, Michaela, we've been out here all morning, like you know, and we have not seen anything until about 30 minutes ago. I'm going to take a step out of the way so you can see down, all the way down. There are dozens of officers here now, presumably to take their fallen brother to their final resting place. Again, we have seen them. They
This is terrible. It's a terrible case.
Are in their full uniforms as well. I don't know if there are any that you can see at the moment that my photographer Zeke could possibly zoom into. About 10 minutes ago, we did see a group of them.
It's going to get down into the 30s in Florida. Oh, people are going to go crazy. Oh.
But they went inside again. We're unsure exactly what they are doing here, but they have come here. They are dressed in their full uniforms, the full regalia. I saw some dress blues, and again, they all have their lights on. We have seen about...
Well, this is a pretty good time to be doing crime if you got everybody here, right?
About a dozen, again, dozens of cop cars, but we did see about a dozen go inside.
Hello, Nicole Watt. Good to see you. Good to see Nicole here. Apparently, you're going to be doing a live, I think, with Chuck. I have to keep remembering to keep up with that. It's good to see Nicole. Good to see Mustang. Good to see everybody in here. Dino's here. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Good to see Dino in here.
A moment ago. Again, we'll stay out here and try to figure out exactly what they're doing, and we will bring you any updates as they become available to us. But for now, I'm going to toss it back to you.
Is there like a shortage of good reporters these days? Because what, Nicole, you going on with Charles? So sorry in advance. I'll have to miss that. Oh, that's too funny. I probably just opened a can of worms. Sorry. I saw it on my feed though. I saw it on. Where's Herbie? This reporter here that's covering this is. I don't know.
Studio, Michaela.
There has been heartbreak for that hero, Devin Jaramillo, 27 years old. If we could bring up that live picture of where Walter is, of the overwhelming show of support outside of the medical examiner's office, showing all of those patrol vehicles out there. This is eerily similar to the scene that we saw. Glenna Milberg talked about this yesterday.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
We want to take you straight to this presser, the sheriff getting ready to speak here in just moments. Let's listen in.
Is it afternoon?
That might make that whole exchange there might make it on one of those YouTube blender tapes.
Yes, totally. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. thank you for being here today. It's important to me that today we clarify some rumors that have been spreading regarding how the incident occurred yesterday. It was not an ambush. Our deputy was not ambushed.
It's good to see Dino in here. Always good to see Dino. Yeah, I hope Heather's okay.
I'm also here to give you a better, clearer picture as to what actually occurred. Our deputy Jaramillo was dispatched to a traffic crash, a minor traffic crash. He responded as any deputy in this county would, and he handled himself in a professional and tactically sound manner. During his preliminary investigation of the crash, he encountered the subject who was part of the traffic crash case, and there was a verbal dispute that ensued. During that verbal dispute escalated to a physical altercation. He fought with our deputy. And during that fight, he disarmed our deputy of his own service weapon and used it to shoot him multiple times. He also...
It's Chuck. Necessary Evils here. November 20th. Okay, I'll have to set something to that because I want to see that. Worm Smuggler. They featured the story Unsolved Mystery. Yes, it's been on that Martha Moxley case has been on everything. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that because I think something's going on there, but I may be wrong. I don't know. It's strange after 50 years and after all of the stuff, all of a sudden now in November of 2025, they're talking about it. Maybe they have nothing better to talk about, but I don't believe that. Something must be up.
The subject, after shooting our deputy, entered his own vehicle and took his own life.
Hold on a second. I gotta stop talking.
The subject, after shooting our deputy, entered his own vehicle and took his own life. Our deputy, good citizens who did see what happened, called 911. He was not able to. And deputies responded and provided first aid. He was transported to the hospital where all life-saving measures were taken. And I'm grateful and thankful to the hospital staff who tried their best to save him, but they were unable to.
Oh, that sucks.
I want to tell you that behind this uniform, we're human beings. And I want to share a little bit with you about Devin Jaramillo. He was a son and he was a brother, but he's also homegrown.
Jaramillo. I think I said Jaramillo. I'm so dumb.
Hero. He was born in Baptist Hospital, graduated from Killian High School, and graduated magna cum laude from University of Central Florida. He was an athlete, a football player, and he was smart, strong, handsome, and young. And he could have done anything with his professional career, but he chose public service, and he chose to do it in this community to serve us. And he gave the ultimate price in his service. As I said yesterday,
This is terrible.
this will never be okay. And I ask our community to continue to hold us in your prayers because we need them. Thank you. I'll do it in Spanish.
All right, so that kind of stinks. Let's go to, hold on a second. Let's see if they have any questions. Let's see here. Rid of that. Let's go here.
A random assigned call, a very minor police response call, a traffic accident with minor damage. So it could have been anyone. There's no reason, and we have no intelligence that there was any connection.
And we hear of a second subject that's in custody as well. Can you talk about that connection, who that person is?
I don't have the details on the second individual because remember, this is still very much an investigation. And I'm also grateful for that question because I'm going to explain that it is so important for us that this be done exactly as it needs to be done. We need to hold everybody accountable that needs to be held accountable.
Well, was that person a bystander, a passenger in that car? Any information on that second?
The second subject was involved in the entire scene. He was involved. It wasn't just a random person. He was involved. That much we know at this time.
Part of the accident.
Yes, part of the accident.
Do we know whether the person who shot was a career criminal or we don't know anything about that?
We don't have any information as of yet. We're going to try to be releasing that information as soon as we can, sooner than later.
That second subject, he was charged or not charged? I'm sorry. I don't know if
At this time, I do not believe there are any charges as of this time.
Have there been any search warrants sought or executed?
Oops. The Dinner Time Bandit was featured on Unsolved Mysteries. Oh, okay. Yeah, they changed the world. Okay. Let's see here.
At this time, I don't have any more further information I can share on the investigation.
Sheriff, can you talk about, you called this a minor traffic accident. Deputy Jaramillo arrives by himself. Is that standard procedure in a traffic call? Can you talk about?
That's what I was going to say. Why would they send a deputy out for a minor traffic accident? It's just weird. That's a weird thing.
What those standard procedures look like for this particular type of call?
So a minor crash is something that would normally be handled by one individual, not even just a deputy. We even have public service aides that respond to these type of calls. So I think it's important because people need to understand that for us, there's evil lurking over our shoulder wherever we are and whatever we're doing.
Were any other firearms recovered at the scene, or was it strictly?
That's all part of the current investigation, so nothing I can share.
Any questions in Spanish?
I just
One last question?
Yeah, just one. Do we know when?
I think I got that one coming up. Hold on a second. I think that's in my history about the guy that was on the run there. I'll have to check on that, Doodles. Good to see Doodles in here. Let me check on that in history. I think that's coming up shortly here.
When Deputy Jaramillo will be moved from the medical examiner to the funeral home, and then what that process will look like over the next few days?
So we are currently, as we speak right now, working on the details for the transport. Okay. Our goal is that it will be sometime today, and as we get more locked in timeframes, we'll make sure to share that appropriately.
Thank you.
Want to tell us at all just what he was like during his time with the sheriff's office? You know, we heard from Coral Gable.
I mean, I think deputies in Florida are a little bit different than deputies here. Like up here, a deputy is a real deal. Like that's the real thing, right? But I think deputies in different districts and different states are around here. They'd never send a deputy out for a minor traffic accident. They probably just send a patrol officer or something. Any follow-ups on the cases you've done the last show? I'm going to check. I don't think so.
Police, that's where he started.
Yeah. So Devin was an amazing officer, hardworking. He's what we call a legacy kid because his father was on the job for so many years.
I know that I'm going to be playing pretty shortly the update on the Melody Buzzard case. That's coming up shortly too. Because they've arrested the mother on an unrelated charge. I forget what the charge is for. Something about something. I forget. I don't want to. They arrested the mom on unrelated. Yes, they did. So I'll finish this up and then we'll move on to something else.
He was strong. He was a helper. He was a supporter. Nothing but the best of words were ever used when it came to describing who he was, his peers. I will tell you that his immediate peers at the Kendall station are
Yeah, that's it. False imprisonment, I think, or something like that. You have a nagging suspicion that he maybe have been involved in a Martha Moxley case. It's possible. I want that lady to get better glasses. It's too funny. Do you know they're too small?
They're destroyed. They're destroyed. He was what every
I think the glasses kind of even off the earrings, right? Not sure.
every parent would want their kid to grow into.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Sheriff.
All right, that's just sad. That's awful. I'll keep up an update on that, but I mean, there's really no update. The one good thing is the guy that unalived himself. So there's going to be no court, probably no, no trial, no nothing. So good. All right, so let's move on to this one here too. Hold on one second. Yeah, she's very shaken. I probably would be too if I mean, this stuff happens unfortunately all the time. Let's see here. Let's you couldn't pay me enough to be a cop. That's all right. So she looks like Velma Dinkley in those glasses. Oh, it's a good thing I don't have to make the comedy tonight. That's awesome. Hold on one second. Let me go back to this chat here. They don't fit her face. No, of course not. But you know what the saying is, if you find a good pair of glasses, if you have less than 20/20 vision, those are the glasses you keep. I know a lot of people who wear pretty strange spectacles, but if they work, I don't have the patience to be a cop. No, neither do I. Especially when it comes to like violent crimes against children or something like that. I don't know if I'd be able to do that. All right, so I don't know if I'd be able to wait for the trial, if you know what I mean. So, all right, so we're gonna go through this love triangle case here. You guys, I don't know if you guys have been following this one here. Prosecutors in South Carolina are pushing for all 9 teens accused of the unaliving of the 16-year-old Trey Wright to be tried as adults, including the 15-year-old and 6. So they all want these tried as adults here. Investigators say Wright's girlfriend, Jana Kirstenmacher, orchestrated the unaliving, fueled by social media messages, while 19-year-old Devin Rapper allegedly pulled the pew pew. All right, so let's go here.
Who died alongside one of his closest friends. We'll also talk about the state law that could make all 9 people charged in this case as guilty as the man who allegedly pulled the trigger. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart.
I've probably needed glasses for like 10 years, but I just,
Hey, before we start this episode of On the Case, I do need to talk about our partner and sponsor for this episode, Upstairs. If there was the possibility that one of them was going to harm someone, that there would be a person who would be the voice to step in and stop it. That someone would speak up in a group of 9 people. But that didn't allegedly happen in the case of Trey Wright in South Carolina. And not only did
have you guys heard about this case, or I hope everybody's doing well. I hope that Shibby's doing good. I hope Heather's doing good. I haven't seen Jocelyn around in a while either. I hope she's doing well. I know I got something from Honeybee, so I know she's doing okay.
Everyone allegedly stay quiet. The person who was closest to him, his own girlfriend, is accused of being the one who orchestrated the situation that led to his murder. Now, these are the mugshots of 7 of the 9 people.
Look at this gang, right? Like, mugshots are terrible. Look at this guy. Huh.
People who are facing charges in the death
Gilligan
of Trey Wright. He was killed on the night of June 24th. These 7 people, they are all facing a charge of murder, and their cases are in adult court. But there are 2 other suspects. We don't know their names. We don't have their mugshots because they're juveniles. But according to WPDE-TV, the 15 and 16
Let me know if you want a wrench. Unindicted co-conspirator. Yep, just kids. They've just ruined their entire life. Because I think this is in South Carolina, so they're probably going to get. I don't know if they're going to get all of these as far as adults, but most of them they're probably going to do that.
16-year-old, well, they may be charged as adults, but it's not just as simple as putting them in adult court. We'll talk a little bit about what prosecutors are trying to do, though, to make that happen. Now, before we get into that, I want to talk about Trey Wright.
That's a snake.
Who's the victim in this story. He was just 16 years old when he was shot and killed on June 24th. It was that night around 11:30 that deputies responded to find him shot along a country road in South Carolina. Now, as far as the suspects go in this case, this is the man who police say pulled the trigger. His name, Devin Raper. He was 19 years old when this allegedly happened. Raper.
I knew it was Raper, but if I would have said Raper, it would have been Rapper. So I wish we never met. I wish you would have stopped giving me missed signals. But can you stop? Because I'm trying to get to know your friend right now.
Raper and Wright, they followed each other on social media. And a close family friend told me that Trey actually considered Devin Raper a friend. They used to hang out and go to truck shows in Myrtle Beach, she said. She says that they didn't know each other for a long time, but they hung out. Detectives say the night of Trey's murder, though, they were at odds. And they were at odds over a girl the night that Wright was killed. Now, that girl is also charged with murder. In fact, she's accused of orchestrating what happened to her boyfriend, Trey Wright. Her name is Gianna Kistenmacher. Trey's friend told me that she remained on scene the night after Trey was shot and deputies arrived, but she did find something suspicious about how Kistenmacher allegedly acted. Had you ever met Gianna?
That night was the first time I'd ever met her.
And again, I know there's things that you can say and you can't say. I mean, but she was still on scene. I guess like you saw her there when you went outside.
Yes, sir. She was still on scene. She stayed on scene till he went to the hospital, and then she went to the hospital. But his mom and them didn't know anything till I got there, or the other kids got there to let her know what was going on, because I wasn't the person who could tell her that on the phone, and I was the one who called.
Now, detectives have cast a wide net in this case investigating Trey's murder because you have 9 teenagers who are facing charges of murder, but only one of them is accused of being the person who fired the gun. Now, the other suspects in this case are 18-year-old Hunter Kendall, 17-year-old Sydney Kearns, and 18-year-old Corinne Belviso. Detectives say they brought Raper to the scene that night knowing that Devin Raper was armed and knowing that there was going to be a confrontation with the victim, Trey Wright. Now, the other suspects that we know about, 17-year-old Braylon Thompson and 17-year-old Jaden O'Clair, both were granted $20,000 bonds, and court records show that they posted bond on the same day, and that day was August.
What do they call it? Is that called a lazy eye right there?
6th. And this is where this story gets even more shocking and frankly sad, because this is a picture that we found of a Snapchat post allegedly made by Thompson of him and O'Clair outside the Florence County Detention Center, and it shows the two of them posing. O'Clair's like throwing up a peace sign. Thompson has a finger in his mouth showing his teeth like he's wearing a grill. The caption to that post, quote, "I'm free," with a racial slur. Can't say that racial slur here, nor would I want to, but I'll tell you it's a racial slur that begins with the letter N. Now, I reached out to the Florence County Sheriff.
Are you okay, Tracy? I've been present here just lurking due to being on laptop. I fell asleep last night and slept for 12 straight hours. That's freaking awesome. That is freaking awesome. Technical term is wonky eye.
Just to see if they were aware of this post, and they told me that they were aware. It's also unclear what led to Thompson and O'Clair's charges at the time of this recording. So that brings the number to 7 suspects. And then the final 2, in the eyes of the law, they're juveniles as of right now because they're 15 and 16 years old. But all of that could change. I have a new 10-page police report that sheds light on what detectives say happened on the night Trey Wright was killed. And I want to dive into that before we talk about what could happen to those juvenile suspects. So it was around 11:41 that night that law enforcement responded to the call about a shooting. The deputy said the scene, it was chaotic. You had people screaming after this gunshot was fired, and Trey Wright was on the ground. People were distraught. They were emotional, according to deputies. Trey, he was on the ground fighting for his life. Several people were around him screaming. He had 2 close gunshot wounds to his chest. EMS had rushed him to the hospital, but that's where he lost his life. Deputies say they were told the shooter fled in a white Mazda SUV. 4 people were inside, according to deputies. One of them had a gun, and one of them was wearing a ski mask, according to police. Now, deputies say when the car first arrived, Trey Wright approached it. He banged on the door. Someone opened the door, and that's when the shots were fired. The deputy also writes that the confrontation was planned and fueled by provocative Snapchat messages. Law enforcement also say there are recordings of this incident on...
Unbelievable. Can you imagine this? I mean, these poor people.
Some of the suspects' phones. We have not seen those recordings as of yet. Now, even though all the suspects are facing a very serious charge of murder, Devin Raper is still being held in jail. All the others have posted bond. That includes the 2 youngest suspects, 15 and 16 years old.
I did not do none of this.
I'm telling you right now, if people are talking about the sleep pattern here lately, I literally could have slept. Guys, I work 3rd shift, so I usually go to bed around, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. But I literally could have slept till tomorrow easily. I think it's that hour. Every time we get the clocks turned back like that, it really messes with me. Bond denied for teen arrested in death of,
There was 4 more people.
All right, I'm not here to try.
I understand that. But
I'm not here to try your case, but you can speak to law enforcement and you can also talk to your attorney.
They won't talk. They didn't do nothing.
Now, what you just saw there was Devin Raper at his first court appearance where he tried to argue his case to the judge. That video per WBTW. Now, as far as the 8th and 9th suspects, they're juveniles at this point. That's where their case is, in juvenile court. We don't know their names because they're so young, but all of that could change because the prosecutor in this case recently told WPDE-TV that he is pushing for the 15 and 16-year-olds to be charged as adults, at least one of them.
these kids don't want to go to adult prison. I can guarantee you that right now. Like, that might have been fun for a little while with this this whole plan to unalive this kid, but if they go to an adult prison, man, they're gonna learn to grow up really quick.
Of them is a girl. Now, the station says that both teens are in the custody of their parents right now, and they will need to go through mental health evaluations to determine whether or not they, like the others in this case, will be tried as adults. Joining us once again to talk about this case from South Carolina is Tyler Bailey, criminal defense attorney and civil rights attorney. Great as always to talk with you here on Law and Crime, because there's always been, there always is with this case, some...
Adult males are just waiting for people like this to go to their prison. Put it that way.
Some interesting, I guess, legal dynamics to it as we move forward. What would it take for the two suspects, we don't know their names at this point, a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old, to be tried in adult court as opposed to juvenile court in this case?
Yeah, well, first, it's always great being on. And in this case, you have these two juveniles. And in juvenile proceedings in South Carolina for criminal cases, they're handled in family court. And, you know, the max detainment for a juvenile is till they reach the age of 21, or the majority to get out of juvenile proceedings. If they're tried as adults, then they could be.
This guy here, and this guy here, they will be literal bitches in an adult jail. And it's not going to be any easier for any of these girls in female prison either.
Be penalized just like a regular adult could. This, with murder here, it could be a life sentence. There's some constitutional protections there that will prevent the death penalty or them being subject to life without parole. But even before they get there, the prosecutor has discretion whether to try to have them waived up to be tried as an adult. And when that's done, there's a mental health evaluation, which is a pre-waiver evaluation that looks into their, their mental health, psychological issues possibly, and also their just family background, social background, and really trying to figure out if they had the capacity to really understand what they were doing, because young folks' brains mature, take longer to mature, and there's some limitations on understanding future consequences of actions of minors, and the proceedings are meant to see if the juvenile system can rehabilitate them, or if they need to be tried as adults so they are punished versus being rehabilitated.
Jenny 867 is here. It's good to see Jenny. Only if they're for sure guilty, not like some other cases exactly. That's the thing, I don't know if you can really, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about this.
Clearly facing very serious charges. I mean, a charge of murder, and we'll dive into why, even though they aren't the ones who are accused of pulling the trigger, that they're still facing that charge. What typically is the cutoff, though?
This guy right here does not want to go to prison.
Because I feel like in some cases you'll see someone who's 17 years old, they're not 18, and they're tried as an adult, even 16, but 15 feels very young. What's typically the cutoff in South Carolina for cases?
Carol's here. It's good to see Carol. Always good to see Carol in here. Good to see Jenny in here. We got Dino in the chat for more than 5 minutes. That's freaking amazing. He's as soon as I say that, take care all. Have a good night, buddy. Have a good week. It's good to see you in here, man. Always good to see Dino in here.
Age-wise, to be moved into adult court?
Great question, and there's no cutoff. There's discretion of the prosecutor. So there's situations where you've had children as young as 12, 13 years old involved in gun crime here who have had pre-waiver hearings to see if they could be tried as an adult. And it's more so, it looks there's a lot of categories they look into. The nature of the crime. Was this a crime against property? Was it a crime or a crime against a person, like a murder here? And so the prosecutor looks into all that and some of the background of what happened to see if this is something that requires, or justice requires, a minor being tried as an adult. So there is no cutoff. The way our law works here is the prosecutor has discretion, and protections are the pre-waiver evaluation that these young kids here are going through.
What could a defense attorney for either of these juveniles do if they wanted to try and keep this in juvenile court?
Well, the pre-waiver hearing is really the protection, and they could try to have their own independent hearing or pre-waiver hearing for the minors done, because generally DSS psychologists or psychiatrists, they're the ones who would do this pre-waiver evaluation. And if there's some discrepancies there, or if the family and the defense lawyer wants to pay the cost for their own independent evaluation to be done. So
the horrible thing is everybody cries afterwards, right? Nobody ever cries before. It's always after, something really, really bad happens when people start to cry. I honestly don't feel bad for any of these guys.
So it could be brought to the discretion of the judge to point out some issues that may be flaws inside the state's evaluation, to give the judge another perspective at it. That's the most that could be done. And they can make arguments based off of things that come out in the report, based off the family background, the social background of the minor. I mean, for example, if a child had a real traumatic past, they're abused as a child, they've had some psychological issues, maybe they could be on the spectrum or things of that nature, and the prosecutor is still seeking to have them tried as an adult. Those are things that the defense lawyer should bring to the attention of the court, so the court can make a decision whether this should happen, them being tried as an adult, or is it more appropriate for them to stay in family court for juvenile proceedings.
And if a prosecutor, like in this case, says that he wants this to be an adult court, I mean, what's the success rate of a prosecutor in these cases, even if a defense brings up some evidence of actually getting it into adult court?
It really, it should be that this is based off of, objective evidence in the evaluation that's done for the minors. And a lot of times when you have a heinous crime, you have ages that are closer to the age of majority, 16, 17, a murder, or for example, or signs of no remorse, signs of, malice and forethought. along with some intentional acts to try to conceal evidence of the crime afterwards, along with a evaluation.
I think what they should do, like if they're below the like above the age of 15 and below the age of say 18, right? They should until they're 30. I think that would be reasonable, right?
That seems fair that the minors be tried as adult. Those are usually stronger cases where they are tried as adults, and then you.
I think it was because it was technically a love triangle. I think somebody was trying to sleep around with somebody else or something like that, and it took a village to get rid of this kid. But I'm good with like 14 years. That would be all right, you know.
Judges are also influenced by public pressure. What is the public saying? What's the outcry here? I mean, this situation was a tragic situation. You've got 9 young teenagers essentially involved in a murder of I believe a 16-year-old. And there was video recordings of this, and youth violence is a problem in South Carolina, but also throughout the country. And so you have the elected prosecutor here, and the assistant solicitors working there or deputy prosecutors are trying to send a message here. They think it's appropriate for these 2 minors be tried as an adult, and this could be one of those cases where they ultimately are tried as adults.
And before you,
all right, so let's get out of this here. I'll keep an eye on this too. I just wanted to go over that case because it's been, I don't want to say it's been all over the news, but it's been pretty close. All right, so I do want to quickly go to hold on a second. The Barry Morphew thing, he's been in the news again. And it's never going to happen. This case is probably never, ever going to happen. I don't know what's going on in this case. I don't know what's taking so long. But then again, it's not, it's not me. So, so you guys know Barry Morphew's being in charge with the unaliving of his wife back a while ago. They found a body a couple of years ago. And it doesn't seem like this guy is ever going to get tried for this, but I got to have patience. So Barry Morphew, who was indicted by a grand jury for the first-degree unaliving of his wife earlier this year, briefly appeared in court on Monday. So I think they're going to set a time limit for his plea deal or his plea because he hasn't pled yet.
Will go on trial for a second time for the murder of his wife, Sue Dan, was back in court today.
Yeah, this was the first time we're seeing him since his supporters helped him post a $3 million bond back in September. Fox 31's Nicole Fierro breaking down what happened during this appearance. That is, she joins us live here at 5.
I literally hate this guy. I honestly understand the whole innocent until proven guilty, but this guy's pretty much guilty to me. But we'll see. This guy seems to have 9 lives when it comes to being tried here. But we'll see. Who knows?
5, Nicole.
Yeah, today's appearance just a few minutes long, but in those few minutes, we learned when a trial could start and also when Barry Morphew will have to make a plea, guilty or not guilty, for the first-degree murder charges involving his wife's death. Barry Morphew.
Didn't Brian Kohlberger do that too? He didn't give a plea until way later in the. I thought he did that too. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they are. I'm pretty sure they're still supporting him. Yeah, me too. I wish they would just. This guy's a piece of shit. Period. He's got a good lawyer though, obviously.
Morphew appearing in jeans, a collared button-down and blazer Monday afternoon as his attorney asks the judge for more time.
The defense is continuing to make its way.
More time for what? I got the indictment. I have the whole thing. I downloaded that a long time ago. But it's long. One of these days we'll go through it. All right, so the chipmunks, they're so cute. I thought the judge did it, but he didn't put in a plea until I think the judge had to. Oh yeah, the $1 million's all gone. Everything's gone.
way through the voluminous discovery.
The state not objecting, telling the judge their paralegals are helping Barry's lawyers.
It could be that it could be that they're, you know, trying to see what the state's got for evidence, and then maybe making a plea deal. Maybe he'll plead to like second degree or something. I don't know, but I think he's going to drag this on forever.
Find what they're looking for in the discovery phase. Morphew faces a first-degree murder charge related to the death of his wife, Suzanne, who disappeared Mother's Day of 2020.
We have no objection to a continuance. We're still hopeful to try this case in the summer.
That is a final continuance. I will expect a plea to be entered. It's fine if that plea is not guilty.
Barry now free to head home back to house arrest until his next hearing in January after his supporters helped him post bond. Today's court hearing not streamed live to
Look at this. Watch this.
Not streamed live to the public like the last two hearings.
Hold on a second. I want to replay this here. Watch this. I'll watch this exchange here.
Reporters helped him post bond.
He just killed his wife. We're all laughing.
Today's court hearing not streamed live to the public like the last two hearings were after the judge says a YouTuber posted a recording of the last status hearing, gaining at least 17,000 people's comments.
Yeah. Shibby's onto this guy. House arrest, poor chipmunks, yeah. This is too funny. Unlawful recording, including comments from some of the 1,700 plus people who viewed the unlawful recording.
Including threats and conspiracy theories. The public could come in person like Tisha Leeway did. She knew Suzanne and has been a voice fighting for justice for 5 years now. Each year she calls on the community to send ornaments to decorate a tree in Salida.
I mean, like I've said in this case from the beginning, the former prosecutors that tried him the first time couldn't have fucked this up any worse. I mean, they just completely, you know. So this guy here, you know, could go free. Boston Christian's here. Good to see Boston Christian. So there's a possibility he could get away with it, but I doubt it. Even though the original prosecutors kind of, I don't know. I don't think they knew what they were doing.
In Suzanne's honor.
I actually have one that's just sitting here right now, and it came actually from Indiana,
where Suzanne was from.
Some that they have ordered, and they just say justice for Suzanne. There's just a bunch.
Signs of support now more important.
This poor woman, right? Like, just had to meet this guy in life. It's just so awful sad. I mean, you can't get any more attractive than this, right? It's just sad. It's awful.
Than ever, Leeway feels.
Shot with a horse tranquilizer, of all things.
I just feel like we need to support her and her family because Barry has a lot of support, obviously, because
Barry Morphew,
or else he wouldn't be out on the streets.
That next court hearing is set for January 12th at 1:30.
January 12th. So keep that date in mind. We'll have to see if that happens.
Reporting live in Denver, Nicole Fierro.
All right, so let's get. I just wanted to bring that up because who knows if this case is ever going to get. I mean, just. Let's see here. All right, so 2 seconds here. I do want to get into this case here. I want to hold on a second here. We'll do this here, and then we'll get on to okay. So she had beat cancer too. I know it just sucks. It's just horrible. It's just such an awful situation, and he made it worse, in my opinion. But innocent until proven guilty, right? All right, so let's go here. I want to do this. What about Zinnians, Dave? Hold on a second here. All right, so I got emailed this last week about this this case here, the Ryan D. Larsen case. So I'm going to try to get into the beginnings of this case here tonight, and then maybe do a follow up next week, because there's not a lot of information about this case here. I've been really having a hard time getting, but there's enough. So that's the good news. All right. So this is Ryan Larsen here. Make sure I'm sharing this here. And this is the summary here. The missing juvenile Ryan D. Larsen walked away from his elementary school in La Vista, Nebraska around noon on 5/17/2021. So May 17, 2021, May, Nebraska. Ryan was seen near his apartment shortly after he walked away from school. There's been no confirmed sightings. I don't know if this is accurate. Ryan was seen near his apartment shortly after he walked away from school. There have been no confirmed sightings since this time. Ryan has high-functioning autism and has a history of running away and hiding. However, he has always been found shortly afterward near the location where he left. Ryan is described as being 5'8", 8 inches tall, so he's kind of tall. 125 pounds of brown hair and hazel eyes. Ryan was last seen wearing a black hoodie, blue jeans, and Old Navy shirt, and had a polka dotted umbrella. So that's him there. These are the circumstances of this is coming from Solve the Case. I don't know, this might be somebody's webpage. Anyways, this is La Vista, Nebraska. So we'll get to that in a second here. Ryan was last seen in La Vista, Nebraska on May 17, 2021. He was a sixth grader in La Vista West Elementary School. Hold on a second here. Okay, after becoming frustrated with a math problem, Ryan went to another room to be by himself and calm down. An adult was supposed to be supervising him, but one supervisor had to leave the room and the replacement was late. So he was left alone for between 11:55 a.m. and 12:05 p.m. So that's 10 minutes. Hold on, where is it? It's basically Omaha. Okay, thank you. Stories Nuts, I've made a few lives on it. Who? The Zinnians. Oh, is that the one you're talking about there? The Zinnians? Their trials are coming up. No, I haven't. Possible kidnapping, Boston. Okay. All right. So hold on one second here. Let me. Okay. I just wanted to Google search that. A lot of trafficking along I-80. Okay. Thank you. All right. So after becoming frustrated with a math problem, Ryan went to another room. So I asked my wife about this here because she's a teacher and she does a lot of work with special needs too. She used to be a para. So this is not supposed to happen. Even though this adult was supposed to be supervising him, whoever was supervising him at the time, regardless of whether or not he or she had to leave, they're not supposed to leave until somebody replaces them. It's just not supposed to happen. So I don't know why that happened. That's unheard of. During the time he was not supervised between 11:55 and 12:05, Ryan left the school campus. Period. At 12:27 p.m., the school notified his mother. So that's almost a half an hour afterwards. The school notified his mother that he was missing. That must have gone over well. At 12:29 p.m., the school called 911 and police arrived 5 minutes later to begin the search. Okay, so hold on a second here. I think I got this pulled up here. All right, so let's go to this here so we can get a little bit more information on this here. Okay, so this was done 3 years ago. So Wednesday, this was done 3 years ago. So Wednesday marks, so this is 6 months after he went missing. And this is I believe, an interview with one of the investigators here. So let's check this out here. Hold on 1 second here.
Since the disappearance of Ryan Larsen, a 12-year-old boy who was autistic, he left school on May 17th and never returned home.
3 News Now reporter Zach Williamson met with La Vista Police Chief Bob Lawston to learn where the case stands today, and he joins us now. Good morning, Mac.
Good morning, Mary and Cerise. It's a case that Chief Lawston says they've never seen anything like in the La Vista community. Now, half a year has gone by, but the search continues.
Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. 6 months later, the search is still on for missing 12-year-old Ryan Larsen.
You know, we haven't had a missing child case like this pretty much in the history here. We've had.
All right, hold on 1 second here. These cases are so terrible. All right, so here's the area here. This is La Vista West Elementary School, Nebraska here. Let's see, let me back out a little bit here. So this is a park, city park here. That's the school there. What's this here? So there's a school there. This looks like water here, water here. This is the school here. So this school is nestled in a, like, there's a lot of homes around here. And hold on a second, it says, Ryan Larsen walked away from his elementary school in La Vista, Nebraska around noontime. So that would have been lunchtime. Ryan was seen near his apartment shortly after he walked away from, so he was technically seen near his apartment after he walked away from school. So, yeah, have a good night, Nicole. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. If I fall asleep, I love you all. I'll see you next Saturday, just in case. I hope you sleep well. So I'm having trouble understanding this here. Ryan was last seen near his apartment, so obviously his apartment is not near the school. All right, so hold on a second. Okay. But this is a pretty, populous area here. It's rural, but it's, there's a lot of homes here. I don't know where he would have walked out. Probably the main entrance, maybe. All right, hold on a second. Let's get back to this here. Okay. Okay, unindicted. Let me go back to this video here.
Had a lot of challenges in other areas, in other cases, but because of the circumstances of this one, this is really one that you want a resolution to.
Ryan was reported missing on May 17th by La Vista West Elementary.
Okay, so this is definitely the school. Private parking. Is this parking for the school, you think?
Elementary School around 11:45 a.m.
I'm assuming that's parking for the school. Yep. And that's a bike. There's a bike lane. There's a bike lane there.
Where he reportedly left the school during a passing period. A neighbor said Ryan around 1:30 that afternoon outside of the Southland apartment complex where he lived. An umbrella that belonged to
What did they just say?
11:45 a.m. where he reportedly left the school during a
84th and Harrison. Okay, thank you. Whoops. Ralston, 84th and Harrison, Ralston. Hold on. 84th and Harrison. Three minutes. It's literally 3 minutes. Okay, so hold on a second.
passing period. A neighbor spotted Ryan around
It says Harrison Street Southeast. Nope. Maybe. Hold on a second.
1:30 that afternoon outside of the Southland apartment complex where he lived. An umbrella
Southland apartment complex. Southland Apartments. Nope. Okay, let's go back to this. I'll find it eventually.
umbrella that belonged to Ryan was found at the complex by a neighbor as well. The umbrella did test positive with his DNA. There were surveillance cameras that picked up a person who police believe could be Ryan near La Vista Kino at 1:45, but they can't identify it for sure. Larsen says they are waiting on DNA testing for some other items they have found, but that is about all they've had to work with.
We've had a lot of challenges with this because information really didn't come in. We have a young man that just suddenly disappears.
Federal, local, and state agencies, along with the La Vista community, have extensively searched Walnut Creek.
Walnut Creek. On a second here. Okay, so hold on a second. Let me get rid of that. Harrison Street.
And continue to sporadically search the local area. Larsen says the longer a case like this goes on, the suspicion of foul play increases. But right now, they still don't believe he was kidnapped.
We still don't believe that he was abducted. There's no information that shows that he was taken by a stranger.
With the arrival of hunting season, Larsen asks hunters to keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary.
But don't forget, this was 3 years ago. So
Again, we're 6 months into this case. The chances that we may have a body out there, if they come across anything that seems really odd in a field, by a riverbank or wherever, take note of that and call 911, let us come out and check it out.
Larsen says this case has proven why the first hour is so important in a missing person case. In order to get a quicker start in future missing person cases involving children with disabilities or adults suffering from forms of dementia, the La Vista Police Department has adopted a program out of California called Take Me Home.
It's kind of a precursor to any call that would come out. We have information from a family member about a child or an adult that has some type of disability. It's rather extensive information for us.
This information would include some of the person's special interests, places they tend to go, their characteristics, family members that live nearby that the person may have wandered off to, life-threatening medical concerns, and if they might fear police or EMS, along with a photo of the person.
When that call comes in, we can have units go to specific areas right off the bat before we go to a house to get the information. Gives us a head start.
You can register your child or family member by visiting cityoflavista.org/takemehome. Only police will have access to this information. While this can be a very beneficial tool for future cases, the department is still fully committed to finding Ryan and finding closure.
Our job is to find out.
hold on a second.
Where's Ryan at? What happened to him? And that's still our ultimate goal.
In response to Ryan's disappearance, Papillion La Vista Community Schools has made a request for proposal to install interior and exterior cameras at La Vista West Elementary, along with the other 15 elementary schools in the district. Currently, none of these schools have cameras. They say the process has extended to this point because of the search for funding and for planning the layout of these cameras at each individual school. Reporting live from the La Vista Police Department, Zach Williamson, 3 News Now this morning.
Zach, thank you so much. We did some research and created a timeline of Ryan Larsen's disappearance.
The timeline is not extensive, but does provide basic details of the efforts in the
Thank the Lord.
search for Ryan from the day he went missing 6 months ago to now. On May 17th.
Thank you, Paula. Yeah, somebody probably would have seen him, I would think, right?
Investigators with the La Vista Police Department say Ryan was last seen that afternoon. He walked away while switching classes. According to the school district, police and Ryan's family were immediately contacted. Police then searched the school.
Well, according to this, it was about 20 minutes after, but that's kind of immediate.
Several times on that Monday afternoon, and when Ryan wasn't found at the elementary school, the search expanded.
He was actually transitioning from one room to the next. He was last seen in the hallway by one of our staff members. He actually talked with them, and he was heading hallway by one of our staff members. He actually.
He? Who?
The next. He was last seen in the hallway by one of our staff members. He actually talked with them, and he was heading towards his classroom. We believe there was about a 5-minute window there before it was discovered that he was not in his classroom.
Well, the next day, on May 18th, law enforcement, family, and volunteers began searching for Ryan. It started early in the morning and lasted late into the night. The community came out to help and support the Larsen family. Many don't know Ryan or his family personally, but said it felt wrong to just sit at home and not do anything to help find him.
May 19th, the third day of the search, was
Walnut Creek Recreation Area. Hold on a second. Walnut Creek. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so I found that. Okay, so hold on a second here. Yes, thank you very much, Paula. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Really appreciate it. Okay, so this is this Walnut Creek Recreation Area here. This is nice here. This is the lake. This is the creek. This is parking lot here. Hold on a second here. Definitely going to be a two-parter for sure because there's a lot of sightings or places. So this is
May 19th, the third day of the
May 19th.
search was the day the FBI and National Center for Missing and Exploited Children joined in the effort to bring Ryan home.
Trying to get I don't know where they are, where that fence is. Anyways, this is a nice park. This is a nice little lake. Okay, so let's go here.
Home. Search teams focused on the area of Walnut Creek and Prairie Creek. Canines, drones, and
Prairie Creek? Southfield.
boats were used at the Walnut Creek Recreation Area. Officers went door to door at the apartment complex where Ryan lived.
Southfield Apartment Homes. Is that what you just said? Is that okay, give me 2 seconds here, Southfield. Found it. I found it. Right here. I found them. Perfect. That's the sign. Okay, hold on a second. Where the hell am I? Hold on. Sorry. No, I'm not frozen. Aha, right, we're right here. Here we are, right here. That's the sign. And this is the apartments here. So directions. Southfield Apartments right there. And what's the name of the school? La Vista. Hold on a second. La Vista Elementary School. Okay, so I have it now. So La Vista West Elementary School, it's 3 minutes. Hold on 1 second here. Right there. You made a sandwich? Awesome. Where did everybody go? We're still here. Hold on a second. Yeah, Street View. It's so difficult when you do these cases because I like to get kind of get some sort of a where the hell am I? Like where the hell are we, right? So here's the school here. There's this apartments there. That's where we just were. And here's hold on a second. This is I believe this is the we were just at this kind of like recreation area here. Okay, so we can read this again. Okay, so the missing Nebraska student walked away from his elementary school in La Vista, Nebraska around noon 5/17/2021. So he left here. Around noon 5/17/2021. Ryan was seen near his apartment shortly after he walked away from school. So shortly after he walked away from school, he was seen here. Yes, right here. That's the sign right there. Okay. So there have been no confirmed sightings since then. So this is the last place he was seen here. In this area here. Not here, but in this general area here. And there you go, right there. So it's about 3 minutes, 0.5 miles. He probably didn't walk this way here. There's probably different shortcuts, but we figured it out. Okay, very good, guys. We figured that out. 2 fried eggs, American cheddar, sliced tomatoes on everything bagel. Yes, bagels are awesome. Okay, so let's go back to this here.
Lives in the area of 84th and Harrison.
On May 20th, the Vista police went door.
So on the 20th, which is 3 days after, the Vista police go door to door near Ryan's apartment. So, and then they searched in Papillion and Ralston. So that's like nearby there.
Door to door near 84th and Harrison near Ryan's apartment. They also search areas in Papillion and Ralston. On May 22nd, police say a canine picked up a scent, but
Okay, so May 22nd, which is 5 days after police canine pick up a scent. Investigators cannot confirm it is Ryan's. So they just picked up a scent. What kind of canine dogs were these?
investigators couldn't confirm it was Ryan's.
On May 24th, water levels were lowered at Walnut Creek to assist in the search as dive.
So this is Walnut Creek. We were just there. That's right here.
Team searched the water, but still no sign.
So they lowered the they have Canadian geese over there too.
Of Ryan, volunteers from more than 15 different law enforcement and fire departments helped in that search.
So you would have think if he was in here, they would have found him if they lowered this.
Local authorities said they were looking for Ryan and would continue as long as their resources would allow it.
On May 25th, authorities asked for business.
So May 25th, this is 8 days later. Nearby businesses and homeowners asked to check surveillance. Why did it take them so long to wait? Camera at La Vista Kennel captured video of Ryan the day he went missing. What is La Vista Kennel?
Businesses and homeowners, especially those along Harrison from 72nd to 96th, to check their surveillance video for any sign of Ryan. This came after confirming a camera at La Vista Keno captured an image of Ryan the day he went missing. Now, on May 26th, a rally was held for Ryan at Central Park. Community members came together wearing green ribbons, the color of missing children awareness. Superintendent Andy Rickley, Project Harmony Executive Director Gene Klein, and La Vista Mayor Doug Kindick all spoke at the rally. This all came after Mayor Kindick sent out a message on social media.
I cannot even begin to comprehend what you have been through this past week.
Okay, so we just added a destination here. Okay, so hold on one second here. Right here. Okay, so we just added La Vista Keno Sports Bar and Grill. So that's where? So here's the apartments. It must be here. Right there. That's it right there. So there's a video camera right there. I'm not sure it's that's the actual camera there, but this is where they said, hold on a second. Keno, sorry. Oh, sorry. Keno. Yep, it's not good. It's not a good day for me for pronouncing things.
I cannot even begin to comprehend.
Camera at La Vista Keno, whatever that is, captured video of Ryan X the day he went missing. So the 17th. So the 17th, camera at La Vista captured video of Ryan the day he went missing. Okay. Okay, so he must have walked by here. Or in this parking lot. So he's at the school at the day, and then he walks. Okay, so where are we going now? This is the school. So we're gonna go turn around here. Watch out for the stop signs here. We're gonna go take a drive. So you would think he'd walk this way here. Let's just go the route here. It's only 3 minutes, so there's a whole bunch of apartments here. You can probably scoot through some of these places if you wanted to take a shortcut. Here's another stop sign here. Whoops. Am I sharing this? Yes. Okay. Fantastic. Gonna go this way here. Yes. Look at all these apartments here. What is this here? This must be, is this a fire department here or something? I should have music for this. Now, I'm not saying he went this way here because, like I said, there's a lot of different shortcuts you can take, but it looks like the walking is pretty easy here. That must be town hall or something in here somewhere. Oops, I'm going the wrong way again. Sorry. Okay, so now we're going. There's got to be more cameras here. So obviously he didn't take the road because there's an ATM right there. There's there's no there's no stoplights, so I don't know if there would have been any, but there's an ATM right here. In fact, there's a lot of businesses here. Is this the mall here? Is this where? Yeah, this must be where the Kino place is. Kino right there. So he must have walked. I think that's the Kino place right there, right? No? Okay, so there's the apartments there. There it is. So he must have walked by this store here to get to where he's going to the apartments here. So, all right. Driving music, yeah. Sorry. I hope this isn't boring for you guys, but I have to get a kind of like a layout here of this whole path here. Okay, so let's get back to um, okay, so camera at La Vista, May 25th, 6 months missing. The camera at La Vista Kino captured video of Ryan the day he went. So he must have walked by this place to get to where he went. So let's go.
An image of Ryan the day he went missing. Now, on May 26th, a rally was.
Look at all these people. This is during COVID, right? This is 3 years ago, 3 years plus 6 months, so almost 4 years ago. I'm always kind of suspicious sometimes when there's big searches like this here. I wonder if law enforcement was here organizing this whole thing.
Was held for Ryan at Central Park. Community members came together wearing green ribbons, the color of missing children awareness. Superintendent
Emergency Disaster Services here.
Andy Rickley, Project Harmony Executive Director Gene Klein, and La Vista Mayor Doug Kindick all spoke at the rally. This all came after Mayor.
This is a pretty nice place here.
Kindick sent out a message on social.
Look at all these people. Wow.
Social media.
I cannot even begin to comprehend what you have been through this past week. I want you to know that I'm praying for you. Your city is praying for you. And we're all praying that Ryan returns home very soon.
June 8th marked 3 weeks into the search and also was Ryan's 12th birthday.
Okay, June 8th, police say some were uncooperative with releasing surveillance video. What? Police say some were uncooperative with releasing surveillance video. Don't they get warrants for those? Gathering at a Central Park to celebrate Ryan's 12th birthday. So this is right before his birthday. Why were they uncooperative with releasing surveillance video?
Police say some businesses were uncooperative with releasing surveillance footage and that they would be issuing subpoenas to get the footage. Friends, neighbors, and family.
They had to issue subpoenas to get footage. Wow. Do they normally have to do that? If you're a business, don't you want to just,
Gathered at La Vista's Central Park to celebrate Ryan's birthday.
We stand with the Larsen family since day one. We'll stand beside them, behind them, and wherever else they want us to stand.
Who's this guy?
His birthday.
We stand with the Larsen family since day one. We'll stand beside them, behind them, and wherever else they want us to stand until we find Ryan.
Ryan's mother, Tammy Larsen, asked the organizer to read her remarks. He talked about how Ryan loves to be inventive and his aspirations to go into the public service field.
Ryan has big dreams, so we need to find him and bring him home so he can accomplish every one of them.
Many at the event wrote birthday cards to Ryan and gave words of encouragement to his family.
Well, the next day, June 9th, police asked for help identifying a woman who may have seen Ryan the day after he went missing. La Vista police identified a woman they wanted to talk to about
Him and bring him home so he can accomplish every one of them.
Many at the event wrote birthday cards to Ryan and gave words of encouragement to his family.
Well, the next day, June 9th, police asked for help identifying a woman who may have seen Ryan the day after he went missing. La Vista police identified a woman they wanted to talk to about the case. Police tweeted out a photo of her. Police said she was not a suspect, but they thought she could have useful information and wanted to know if she has any relation to the Larsen family. They said the photos of her they shared were taken on May 18th after Larsen went missing. By the end of the day on June 9th, that woman was identified, and La Vista police thanked the community for helping.
On June 17th, 1 month after Ryan went missing, La Vista police released a new image of someone they wanted to talk to. Police said this person again was not a suspect, but may have been a witness.
On June 28th, there was a big development in the case. Police found the umbrella Ryan had at school the day he went missing. La Vista Police Chief Bob Larsen told 3 News Now that the umbrella belonged to his sister and that she had given it to him. We were also told Ryan's sister had...
It's amazing I don't drink, anymore with stuff like this here. This is confusing here. Okay, so hold on a second here.
By the end of the day on June 9th, that woman was identified, and La Vista police thanked the community for helping.
On June 17th, 1 month after Ryan went missing, La Vista police released a new image of someone they wanted to talk to. Police said this person again was not a suspect, but may...
Sorry.
Many at the event wrote birthday cards to Ryan and gave words of encouragement to his family.
Well, the next day, June 9th, police asked for help identifying a woman who may have seen Ryan the day after he went missing. La Vista police identified a woman they wanted to talk to about the case. Police tweeted out a photo of her. Police said she was not a suspect, but they thought she could have useful information and wanted to know if she has any relation to the Larsen family. They said the photos of her they shared were taken on May 18th after Larsen went missing. By the end of the day on June 9th, that woman was identified, and La Vista...
So June 9th, yeah, it's almost a month.
The police thanked the community for helping.
On June 17th, 1 month after Ryan went missing, La Vista police released a new image of someone they wanted to talk to. Police said this person again was not a suspect, but may have been a witness.
On June 28th, there was a big development in the case. Police found the umbrella Ryan had.
So police found umbrella Ryan had on the day he went missing. I got that too. Umbrella came from someone at his apartment complex. So the umbrella came from someone at his apartment complex. So this person had this umbrella, or...
At school the day he went missing. La Vista Police Chief Bob Larsen told 3 News Now that the umbrella belonged to his sister and that she had given it to him. We were also told Ryan's sister had recently moved out, so it was a very special umbrella for Ryan. Larsen added that police got the umbrella from someone living at the apartments near 84th and Harrison, where Ryan and his family live.
I don't believe this. Oh my God. So this umbrella came from someone at his account. So someone had this umbrella that lives at this apartment complex. What was this person doing with this umbrella?
That umbrella was a positive match for Ryan's DNA. Officials said either Ryan went to the apartment complex after he left school or his umbrella was dropped there.
On the 20th of July, Larsen's older...
What? Hold on a second. I'm sorry.
Ryan went to the apartment complex after he left school or his umbrella was dropped there.
How could his umbrella be dropped there? By who?
On the 20th of July, Larsen's older sister Taylor posted on Facebook stating the family is not giving up and expressing gratitude to all the...
Many of you probably heard that Ryan's umbrella was found. The police are not disclosing whether it was found specifically in the apartment complex. They also have been many comments on a reward. So I would really want to know this. The police are not discussing where it was found. Specifically in the... So they don't know... They're not disclosing where it was found in the apartment complex. Okay.
Those helping in the search. It was at this point that we started getting fewer updates from La Vista Police.
For all of our coverage from the last 6 months and everything that we've reported in Ryan's disappearance, you can visit our website, 3newsnow.com.
Let's go back to the comments here. See here, thank you. All right, so where did I? Not glass, plastic. All right, so lots of quicksand around the rivers there. There's quicksand there, and in many of those rivers flood and wash roads out. Was it? Does anybody know if it was raining that day? Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm more of a social drinker. How deep is the quicksand? My cousin's daughter drove on a washout road at night. It took them 3 months to locate her. Oh my God. That's terrible. I wish. That's terrible. All right. So, like I said, this is going to be probably like a two. Okay, so two episode thing. So I do want to go back to this for a second here. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so these are the points of interest here. There's really not a lot on here. That's the media gallery, and I'll try to copy this here and put it in the description. The photo. Let's see. DNA on umbrella places Ryan. Okay, so DNA on umbrella places Ryan Larsen near his La Vista home on the day he disappeared. La Vista police say they have evidence that may place a missing boy outside his apartment the day he disappeared. Ryan Larsen's DNA has been confirmed on an umbrella that someone found. So someone found the umbrella on the grounds of the Southfield apartments where he lived. Why was it raining that day, you think? Hold on 1 second here. Okay, so I'm trying to. I don't want that. Trying to find out what the weather was like that day. May. Give me 2 seconds. I'm trying to find out the weather. May 17th. Precipitation past 24 hours, 0.25. Okay, so 11 p.m. Cloudy, 11:35, light drizzle. We want to go to Yeah, it was raining. It was well, it was raining 8:35 in the morning. Cloudy. Let me hold on a second here. I'll go back to this here in a second. Hold on. I got way too many windows open here. Hold on one second. Okay, so this is exactly what I'm looking at here. So she probably would have, the mother probably would have given him an umbrella because it was cloudy, rain at 8:35, cloudy. So it was, it was raining. So that's why he had the umbrella. Okay, so so we know it was raining, or that's why he had the umbrella. And where were we? Okay, hold on a second. Hey, Doms, how are you? Good to see you. Miranda's here. I was just thinking about Miranda like 2 seconds ago. Good to see Miranda. I hope you're okay. I haven't seen you for a while. Just going over the Ryan Larsen case. All right, so we're back to this here. Hold on a second. Okay, so Ryan Larsen's DNA has been confirmed on an umbrella that someone found on the grounds. So somebody found this umbrella on the grounds where he lived. So this is the police chief, Bob Lawson, said the umbrella was Ryan's and he was carrying it the day he disappeared because we just went to the weather forecast and it was raining that day. The umbrella was turned into police 3 to 4 days after Ryan disappeared. The umbrella was turned into police 3 or 4 days after Ryan disappeared. Authorities already had reason to suspect that Ryan had headed home because surveillance video. So they saw him at the Keno place. Because surveillance video of someone who appeared to be Ryan placed him across the street from his apartment complex at about 1:30 p.m. that day. So 1:30. Lawson said Ryan didn't have a key to his apartment, but a family member was expected home by about 2 p.m. That's important. I don't know, because surveillance video of someone who appeared to be Ryan placed him across the street. All right. Well, the Vista police have been hoping that enhancement of the video would confirm the person was Ryan, but Lawson said Monday that the enhanced video didn't provide. So here we go with this case has been really challenging because there hasn't been a lot of information. That's what I said. We had different theories that we looked into, but we've come up empty. I think that umbrella is very important. I think that umbrella is huge. We hope you're well too, Miranda. It's always good to see you. All right, so I'm going to break off of this for now. I don't know how Heather's doing. I hope she's okay. I haven't seen her yet tonight. We love Heather. Heather's fine. We like you too, Miranda. We hope you're well. I hope you're well because I haven't seen you for a while. All right, so let's get out of this here. I'll continue this next week, but I do want to save this here. Hold on a second. Save. Okay, so I'll do that in a second. All right, so if you see any suspicious information, call 911 immediately. And I'll try to post this into the or in the description at some point. But for now, we're going to get out of this. I'm going to move on to something else. Give me 2 seconds here, and I'll move on to the next. But we'll do part 2 next week, I hope, unless anything else comes up. But I want to concentrate on this case too because it's important, obviously. All right, so what do we want to do next? We want to go to Ashley Buzzard here. Hold on 1 second here. All right, so let me share this here. All right, so let's go to the Melody Buzzard thing. We're supposed to get some snow tonight or freezing rain. I'd rather have it snow. All right, so this is the case that's going across the country here. We covered this a couple of weeks ago. I've been trying to get as much information on this as possible. So detectives, this was done 14 hours ago. Detectives are sharing surveillance footage of missing 9-year-old Melody Buzzard with her mom, Ashley Buzzard. Investigators believe Ashley swapped out wigs throughout the trip to intentionally avoid recognition. This case here, I'm going to have to tell you, I have no idea what happened here. I think it's highly possible that she just dropped her daughter off somewhere and just took off.
We have not been able to locate the child as of yet.
We want answers! We want answers!
Detectives.
Look at this kid is just so cute. It's just so sad. This is so awful.
In the ongoing search for missing at-risk child Melody Buzzard are now sharing surveillance footage of the 9-year-old with her mom. Take a look at this. Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office releasing a portion of the video footage that was taken on October 7th.
I'm doing all right, still recovering, but doing much, much better. Oh, that's good news. That's really good news. Just keep us posted. It's always good to have you here, Miranda.
In that rental.
So is this a wig? Is that what they're saying? This is a wig, and this is a wig here?
Car business. And you can see Ashley Buzzard and Melody, they're both wearing wigs. This was right before they.
Wait one second here. Are those fake eyelashes too, you think? Is that fake everything? Is fake eyelashes, fake eyebrows, wig? This interaction here to me is kind of, do you think this was a wig on her? Ashley?
In that rental car business. And you can see
this interaction here?
Ashley Buzzard and Melody, they're both.
It is kind of strange how she has her hood up in here, and they're inside somewhere.
Both wearing wigs. This is right.
She smiles right there, right?
Melody, they're both wearing wigs.
She's smiling right there, I think. Where is this? I wonder where this is.
Wigs. This was right before they took that cross-country trip. Investigators also believe that Ashley swapped out wigs throughout the trip to intentionally avoid recognition during her travel. Throughout the investigation, detectives have confirmed the following, that Ashley left California with Melody on the.
Okay, so October 7th, 2025, Ashley left California with Melody driving. We know this. Detectives believe Ashley and Melody traveled as far as Nebraska with a return route that included Kansas. Why would you go? Would you have to go through Kansas to get back to California from Nebraska?
7th, driving a rented white 2024 Chevy Malibu that initially had a California tag on it. Detectives believe that Ashley and Melody traveled as far as Nebraska with a return route that included Kansas. Beginning on October 8th, the Malibu was seen with a New York license plate. Detectives believe this was a false plate deliberately switched out.
October 9, 2020, Melody was last seen in a video surveillance in the region between the Colorado-Utah border.
To avoid detection. Then on the 9th, Melody was last seen on video surveillance between the Colorado-Utah border. So
she was observed with a New York license plate. Where did she get the New York license plate? Did she take it from somebody's car?
So are detectives getting closer to finding Melody? Let's talk about it. I'm going to bring in two of the best investigators I know. Retired FBI Special Agent Jennifer Coffindaffer and private investigator Manuel Gomez. Both of you have been on this case since the news broke. Thank you so much.
You just can't get away from her. It's just never going to happen. She's freaking everywhere.
So much for joining us with this update with the footage. So we saw the still photos for a while. Those had been circulating, and then last night there was a decision to show some video. Agent Coffindaffer, would you start us off with your thoughts this morning on the investigation?
Well, certainly when you look at this, you see the...
You think so? You think she did something nefarious? I think it's highly possible she just dropped the kid off and took off. I really do. Or she's with this is my take on this, and I don't know, I don't know anything about mental illness or anything or whatever, but I think the mom is, I don't know, borderline schizophrenia. Maybe she's probably in fear that somebody's following them, and she needs to protect her daughter, kind of like the movie with what's his face in it. So she felt like she had to protect her daughter, and she probably just took her far away to protect her. And I don't know, in my opinion, it's something like that.
Premeditation involved. This wasn't a situation that something happened and all of a sudden she decided to take this trip. Just those New York license or the New York license plate that was used. You can order them on eBay. You can order them on Amazon. It's about $30 for an old plate. And so I believe
When did she have time to do that?
She would have premeditated this action and known she was going to want to cover her tracks, if you will. Also, those wigs, it definitely shows criminal activity afoot.
Yes, Jen. Manuel, let me go to you next, please. So see in the video, tell us this morning what you're picking up on, any additional thoughts, seeing a little bit more information on that day that mom rented that car to take her daughter God knows where.
Well, it's like Jennifer said, and I agree with her 100%. The premeditation in this case is rock solid. This mother premeditatedly knew that she was going to take this child to an area that it was easy to get rid of. And you got to remember, Julie, this journey to this Nebraska and Utah, she had to go through a desert. She had to go through mountainous terrain, densely wooded forests. There's so many areas she could have dropped this innocent child off at. But what bothers me the most, Julie, is, again, like you and I have been saying, why isn't she arrested? This is a rock solid case for child endangerment and a rock solid case for child neglect. This mother has called the bluff of all law enforcement. She has stayed quiet, Julie, and she won't.
But if the kid's endangered, right? Like, why not just take off? There's nothing real. I mean, the mom's there, right? But she can just take off. I mean, the door's wide open here, unless she didn't know.
Will not speak. The only way this woman's going to speak is when she's in an orange jumpsuit and she has no freedom. Then you will loosen her tongue when a judge says you're going to be in contempt of court if you don't speak.
Hello, Robin Swan. Good to see you. Very, very good to see you. Always good to see new people in here. Yeah, I know she was arrested yesterday. I'm playing this one first because I'm trying to figure out where the hell she is in here. What is it? This looks like a rent-a-car place, maybe, you think? The two chairs. Usually rent-a-car places just have a couple of chairs, and I think she's getting her car here, maybe.
I couldn't agree with you more, Manuel. Thank you for that. So Melody's grandmother, Ashley's mother, is speaking out. She did an interview with KSBY reporter Crystal Bermudez. Here's what she had to say about the 9-year-old's disappearance in those surveillance photos and possible familiar faces along Ashley's route of travel.
What were your first thoughts when you saw this image?
I was totally numb and in shock. This is just so shocking to me, and that my granddaughter is dressed in a disguise. This is just so overwhelming. It's just so really scary.
You're saying that her father's family, his people,
And my family.
and your family are along those routes.
Utah.
Utah.
Yeah, Utah. When you start getting past Utah coming back, it's just so really scary.
You're saying that her father's family.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Give me 2 seconds. Where are they? They're in Santa Barbara. Okay, so Santa Barbara. Two seconds. I'm trying to get the mapped up here. Okay.
When she's in an orange jumpsuit and she has no freedom, then you will loosen her tongue when a judge says you're gonna.
I hate people like this. I just can't stand people like him. I just can't. She's gonna lawyer up. All she's gonna do is lawyer up, and you can't get anything out.
Ashley's route of travel.
What were your first thoughts when you saw this image?
I was totally numb and in shock. This is just so shocking to me, and that my granddaughter is dressed in a disguise. This is just so overwhelming. It's just so really scary.
You're saying that her father's family, his people,
And my family.
and your family.
Okay, so her father's people and her family. Is that what she just said?
It's just so really scary.
You're saying that her father's family, his people,
And my family.
and your family are along those routes.
Utah.
Utah.
Yeah, Utah. When you start getting past Utah coming back, that's when you're running into his friends. You need to tell.
Friends. She just said friends.
Coming back, that's when you're running into his friends. You need to tell.
His friends. Okay, so hold on a second here. Give me 2 seconds here. Okay, so this is from Santa Barbara here all the way to Nebraska. I just put in Nebraska, so I don't know where. That's 20 hours. 21 hours. If you go this way here, it's longer. But as she said, if you go coming back, once you get past Utah, you start running into family. So she could be at somewhere in this area here with family. And then if she's going to disguise herself with wigs and stuff, maybe she drives all the way to Nebraska to throw them off the scent and then drives back and drops her off somewhere in here. I'm just, this is the route here. You got to go through Utah here. I mean, you don't have to. You can go this way here, but it's possible that she's in here somewhere. Okay, let's go back to. I don't know if I trust this woman talking either. I don't know what's going on with her, but.
Tell him where the baby is. You need to tell him who's setting all these things up for you. I know you're not doing it.
According to investigators, the Malibu was driven.
Okay, so here's whoops. So these are the places that they caught her driving from. So I'm not going to map this out now, but this is 2 hours probably here. Whenever you're driving like this, you probably stop every 2 or 3 hours just to get out and pee or whatever. Or
By Ashley Buzzard and traveled through these areas. Here's the map. This is on or about October the 9th. They went through Green River, Utah, Penguich, Utah, Northwest Arizona, Primm, Nevada, Rancho Cucamonga, California. And then when mom came home, she came home without Melody and then would not answer any questions as to where her daughter is. Now, based on grandma's emotional plea, we're wondering, should mom be the only person of interest here? As grandma talked about, there are other relatives in the area along the way. Should Melody's mom be the only person investigators are focusing on? Jen, what do you say?
Well, I say that the mom should be the character they're focusing on. This is her plan. This is what she decided to do with Melody. And thankfully, there's a GPS on that 2024 and keystroke. Also, those are going to be important for when that car was turned on and off, and to show the time frames and how long possibly that car was sitting still. But in terms of her actually going to a relative or friend of this family and dropping her off, it's possible. I don't think it's probable. And it's also possible that that person would unwittingly not even know about this. I mean, let's be fair. There are so many crimes that happen that if you're not a junkie of true crime or a newsie, you're not going to know about. Do I think this is a probable scenario? I do not. I don't think she would ever get Melody out from underneath her thumb and control.
Right, Jen, right. And you would think any of those relatives who loves the child would speak up now that this has gone, national, and that they would say, oh, come on, we have the girl. Yeah, this is so bizarre to me. All the stops, Manuel, let me ask you about that. Initially, we knew there was a trip to Nebraska. And so initially we were talking so much about that. I know you both remember the conversations. Now we've got all these other places. Why? Manuel, your best educated guess.
Well, I think because she was using all these other places as a way of distracting, throwing off law enforcement. That was the purpose of the wigs, going to these different locations so you didn't know which spot she might have dropped off at.
I don't think, since I've been following true crime, I don't think Coffendorfer's been right about anything ever. That's just, and I gave her the benefit of the doubt at the beginning, but, and I'm not saying she's wrong here. I'm just saying, this whole case is strange.
But you got to remember two things, Julie, and that is Utah and Nebraska, and these are the two main locations she was at, have an infamous problem for sex trafficking. Okay, in 2015, they had to set up a sex trafficking task force just in Nebraska to deal with their problems. Again, these.
Let me tell you something, buddy. New York ain't any better. All right. I don't know who this guy is here, but I don't like him either.
Two locations are ideal, and unfortunately, every day we wait, every second that goes by, the chances of us finding her alive are going to be that much more smaller. To be honest with you,
that much more smaller.
If she is sex trafficked, I guarantee she'll be dead in maybe 2 years, because that's usually the life expectancy of kids like this. Unfortunately, I hope I'm wrong.
Right. No, I know you do, Manuel. I know you do. Yeah, that was my initial thought. As soon as I heard that mom took her.
To me, this doesn't have that vibe where it's T thing. It doesn't. I mean, she looks like she's in a pretty good home. Why would she? I just don't sense that here.
To Nebraska, that was just what came into my mind that, oh my God, I hope that she wasn't sold. Jen.
All of the rest stops in Nebraska have big signs about trafficking. Yeah, she makes it sound like the father was in a gang. Exactly. Did mom owe a debt? I don't know. She lived in a pretty nice house. I mean, I seen the house, and it's back here somewhere. She's running a car. Obviously, she's got some cash, right? It's
Coffindeffer, what do you say about that potential theory?
I don't think that happened to her, but let me say why. I think this is a woman, at least according to all reports from family and from her own mother, that's very intricate. This is a woman with serious mental health issues, and I think the triggering of the
I do think that's a possibility. I do think, for whatever reason, whatever happened, maybe she just snapped. Maybe something's going on mentally upstairs. Maybe she felt like her daughter was in danger, and mentally she couldn't deal with that. So I don't know. I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm saying, but we do know that she does have some sort of some history of mental illness. So I mean that's just my that's just my opinion without knowing anything else. And people can be pretty smart. Just because you have a mental illness doesn't mean you're not smart. I mean, she could have planned all of this stuff. She could have done all of this stuff, but to me, that's what it sounds more like than a ST thing.
the financial problems she was having. She was more than $23,000 in debt, as well as the worry that law enforcement or CPS was going to come take Melody, cause some sort of mental break, and she took off with that child. And I do agree with Manuel, though, is the minute.
I think, it could be like some sort of a schizophrenia thing or paranoid schizophrenia where, she just has this inner like fear that there was something going on and she needed to move her daughter. Like I said, I think it's highly possible she might have just dropped her daughter off somewhere in the desert and then just took off. But I do.
Minutes tick by, I think there's less and less chance we're going to find her alive.
I know, it's so awful. I hope they arrest this mom soon. Like, something's got to happen. I would.
So let's go down to this one here. That's this one here, I think.
In bare feet as well.
Okay, so this was done. This was done a day ago. So this is Mark Garagos joins NewsNation to discuss the arrest of Ashley Buzzard, the mother of the missing 9-year-old girl, for false imprisonment. I don't know. And this, like I said, this is so this is where she lives. I mean, this looks like a pretty nice house. She must be getting child support, I would think, right? And it's not the richest neighborhood in the world, but it's not the poorest. So I don't know.
Dan and
I guess you probably can't rule out the ST thing.
busted Melody's mom, Ashley. And Ashley Buzzard was taken away in handcuffs.
That's obviously not a wig. That was her real hair. So.
Incidentally, if you look close there, yeah, she's in bare feet as well. And she's still wearing that same wig that she.
Oh, that is a wig. Is that a wig?
Had on earlier this week when we also got video of her with moving boxes. She was shuffling moving boxes from her house into her garage. Moving boxes, not a good thing. When cops.
Melody's dad died when she was an infant. Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah, but she must be getting something through the state then. I don't think she was trafficked. The daughter gets SSI. Okay. Did she get some sort of disability? Okay. Yeah, I mean, anything's possible, right? Especially in this case. But trafficking, I think, would be a real, in my opinion, probably be like maybe 5-10%. I don't think it's possible for sure, but
want to know where your daughter is, and they're watching your every move.
and they arrested her for this false imprisonment because to detain her to get evidence to throw at her, but I'm pretty sure she probably lawyered up right after she got arrested.
Maybe that's why this arrest. 2 days ago, she's got moving boxes. Now she's in cuffs. So this video is like a side angle. It's exclusive video from the neighbors. And that neighbor, by the way, who shot it has been, she's been watching Ashley almost as closely as the feds have been. But then came the big surprise, right? This arrest, it was not for anything to do with her daughter, Melody. That's what the police are telling us. This does not have anything to do with Melody. This arrest is for false imprisonment. I know. I don't get it either. I am with you. I'm working through it. Trust me. Hold on. Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office said this, and I quote, "Detectives learned of a recent incident where Ashley prevented a victim from leaving a location against their will."
Okay, so false imprisonment is the intentional and unlawful restraint of another person's freedom of movement without legal justification and without that person's consent. This can involve actual physical restraint, such as locking someone in a room. And we just covered that case last week, or the Connecticut mom, or it can be accomplished through threats of force or show of authority. It can be both a criminal offense, offense, and a civil tort. How can you be a parent and not show authority? I don't know. Anyways, that's what it is.
End quote. No, they are not naming the victim. And no, they are not saying exactly where this happened or when this allegedly happened. They insist that it is, quote, not connected to the ongoing search for Melody, end quote. Bizarre. But then they also say that to give any more specifics on what happened at that house today, well, that would, quote, impede the ongoing investigation. Look how quiet it is there. Look at that house.
I mean, it's a nice house. It's not, obviously, they're all pretty much the same in this neighborhood, but, I'm pretty sure she's not strapped for money here. She's got to be living fairly decent. It looks, it doesn't look like it's, it looks well kept, honestly.
House now. Not a peep. You can zero in, you can take a look. There's the backyard. Dead quiet. Yeah. She's not going to be there for a while either. It's $100,000 bond. I don't know about you, but that's pretty hard scratch to come up with. So make what you will of all of this, right? We do know that police shut down the road in front of Ashley's house in order to make this arrest. Multiple officers were in and out of that house, at least one of them carrying paper bags as he left. There you go. Look at right there in his hand, zero in. Look at them all. Some from the FBI, some from the local sheriffs. She was arrested by the sheriffs, by the way. And so now Ashley is being held at the county jail. Again, bail at $100,000. Earlier tonight, we spoke with Melody's father's cousin, Vanjie Ruiz, about this arrest. And here's what they had to say.
This father's cousin? Is that the one that's always gone? Hold on a second.
Cousin, Vanjie Ruiz, about at $100,000. Earlier tonight, we spoke with Melody's father's cousin, Vanjie Ruiz.
Father's cousin. Melody's father's cousin. That's strange.
About this arrest. And here's what they had to say.
So it's 10% of 100,000. So her bail to get out, she'd probably need like 10 grand, right? Am I right about that? I don't know. I don't know California.
Knowing that she was arrested means that something it was a bad outcome. It was going to be a bad outcome. It means that they found something bad. It means that they had probable cause to arrest her. So just knowing that she was arrested just broke my heart. I just felt really sad about the whole situation, like what she could have done with her and what could have happened. And there was a lot of things just going through my mind. Then I started searching all the news clips that were being posted, and I started just reading everything and listening to everything. And I found out that her arrest had nothing to do with the case. And that just gave me a lot of hope. It made me feel so much better. Then I started thinking, okay, then what could they have arrested her for? And I called my husband. I was like, maybe they just arrested her because they saw her with the boxes and she was trying to flee. And they tried to grab her on anything they could just to keep her in this area and arrest her and ask her questions.
Ashley Buzzard's mugshot. I know you're wondering where it is. I am too. They won't release it publicly. That's weird. Don't get me started. I actually get really frustrated.
See, they got to be, I mean,
when they treat certain.
I don't envy these guys when stuff like this happens because, I mean, if you go back to the cop before that was on with Coffendorfer, he's like from the old school where you just beat it out of the suspect, right? You gotta be very careful because all they have to do these days is ask for a lawyer. Once they ask for a lawyer, questions are over. And then she can just come up with the bail money and get the hell out, and then they can't question her again. It's, so you got to be careful. I mean, if you're looking, if you're law enforcement, and you feel like you have enough evidence where the road you're taking is that this person is unfortunately deceased, you gotta be very careful with how they treat the mother because they may never know. She's the only one that knows. So
certain inmates differently, right? Typically, you get a mugshot. Not all the time, but typically. But the sheriff is releasing.
So I'm pretty sure they're being very careful with her.
Something else, and it's big.
It doesn't look like they were throwing her into the the vehicle. They kind of daintily put the cuffs on her, kind of walked her to, because that's not how they treat everybody. So it looked like they were being very careful.
It's new surveillance video from that now very familiar visit to the car rental office that happened back on October 7th. Look at this.
So I was right. This is a car rental office. I could tell. They only have whenever you go to car rental offices, they're very frugal. They only have a couple of chairs to sit on and a lot of pay stations. This is so obviously she didn't have a problem with money. She's getting a rent-a-car. This looks like Enterprise. I may be wrong, but this looks like green is Enterprise, I think.
We've seen snapshots, but now we see them in action. You can see Ashley and Melody are both wearing wigs, and investigators.
How do we know that's a wig?
Now say that Ashley swapped wigs multiple times during that 3-day road trip that she took with this rent-a-car she was getting at the agency.
Maybe that's how they know, because it's different. There's a cell phone right there. She's got her cell phone with her. I don't know if Melody's got a cell phone or not. Probably not.
Say she left on the road trip wearing this long wig, the curly one, right? You can see it in the video. But she returned to California wearing a wig that deputies say.
I mean, that definitely looks like a wig. I mean, that's a wig from like the 70s. That curly hair. You don't see that stuff anymore.
Looks like her daughter's. That part upset me. And that wasn't the only thing that apparently she was switching on the trip. Police say she.
Does she look a little thin to you? Does the daughter look a little thin? I know, appearances aren't that. I mean, but she does. On a scale, I'd probably say she looks pretty average, but some people would think she looks a little thin.
She also switched the license plates on the rental car. Melody was last seen with her mom.
I think that's
October
a felony.
9th, near the
Isn't that a
Colorado.
felony for switching license plates? Is that a felony, or is that a high misdemeanor?
Utah border. But her mom returned to California the next day, and there was no Melody. Yeah, she came back alone. So what happened between October 9th and 10th? It's as big a mystery now as it ever was. And the big question tonight is, will this woman...
It doesn't look like she's resisting or anything. She's walking to the car. You know, I've seen a lot of these things go completely the other way, but it's not like they're bullying her into the, car.
talk? Now that she has at least one charge hanging over her head, is it going to make a difference? Is the charge going to stick? I'm joined now by one of the finest legal minds in California or any other state of the union, and a good friend of the show, Mark Garagos. Mark Garagos, what do you make of these developments and that arrest today?
Well, it was interesting that they went out of their way to say or put out that it was not in connection with the disappearance of her daughter.
Yeah.
That tells me that somebody saw this, came forward, made an accusation, and I'm going to guess that even though the arrest was not for the disappearance, I'm the cynical type, and I'm going to just wildly speculate that they used the arrest and $100,000 arrest warrant or bond amount so that they could hold her and see if they could get her to talk about the disappearance.
That's what I thought, but they should have arrested her.
Yeah, but I don't think you need to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. I mean, like I said, they're not like they got a woman cop here too, so they're being very okay with an arrest suspect, right? But she's not resisting or anything. It's almost like they're just kind of like supervising her to the car almost.
Long ago for not producing the little girl. I feel like, this little girl's been gone for a month, and I feel if the squeeze play was their angle here, why didn't they do it sooner?
I just don't think they have enough right now. Once again, I'll wildly speculate. A lot of times these things have to do with an absent or a non-custodial parent, that there is some kind of friction, that there is some kind of a domestic issue. I mean, they always look for, law enforcement always looks for, where is the father? Where is some other relative?
So she's 29, almost 30 days, almost a whole month after she was last seen. That's a long time, right?
And that's what they focus on. Taking somebody and using wigs and going through all of the machinations of disguising yourself to take her to someplace near the border and then come back. Looks like she's got a confederate or somebody who is working with her.
That's the other thing too. She may, there may be somebody else in this whole thing. There may be another accomplice or something. I mean, this family all along this route here. So I don't know.
So what do you make of the moving boxes?
Actually,
do you think?
But
I hear you. I hear you totally. But I'm wondering about the moving boxes, because when I saw that on Wednesday, 2 days ago, I thought, that can't be good. Look, we could all have boxes for different reasons, but seeing moving boxes all flattened as though they had just been delivered, would that make police nervous enough to say, find something?
Yeah, this is a little scary here. The boxes.
Get something to hold this woman before she disappears.
Like, if she planned all of this stuff here, is this just a ruse too? She's got to know that she's on camera here. She's got to know that she's being watched. I mean, her daughter's missing. It's been almost a month. She's got to know that if you bring boxes like this into your house, they're going to be suspicious, right? You got to, I mean.
In the middle of the night, like, Brian Laundrie.
Well, I think exactly what happened. I don't know that anything.
I really appreciate all the likes, all the people, all the support. You guys are all awesome. Wouldn't be here without you, you guys, Paula, Jenny, everybody in here, Doms, you guys, Shibby, you guys are all awesome. Miranda, really appreciate all your support through the years. Really appreciate it.
Toward happened, and
I'll never ask anybody to like the channel. I'll never ask anybody to subscribe. You guys are all great. Just trying to get some attention to some of these cases. That's all.
everybody, I'm sure, hopes that nothing untoward happened.
But I do appreciate it.
With the little girl. However, you can construct a scenario, and I've seen this exact scenario. I mean, that's why it's not my imagination as much as just kind of PTSD from a prior number of cases I've had. They took that she could have taken the little girl disguised, handed her off to somebody else for the time being, gone back. She was going to move, and then she was going to reconnect.
That's a good scenario right there. Yeah, that could be. And I think it's it might be because of her mental illness. Like she may feel like they're in danger and she doesn't want anybody to know anything about where her daughter is. That's just my opinion, right? I don't know. Maybe wrong. I don't know.
With the little girl, and the moving boxes were just because she was going to move to another location wherever she's got her little girl.
Just give everybody a wrench so that they're obligated to watch. That's too funny.
Whoever is holding her, that to me is, if you're hoping for a happy ending, that's the best thing you
It's a good thing Jenny hasn't fallen for that yet.
can hope for.
Yeah, I just cannot imagine a mother who stonewalls nonstop CPS, police officers, sheriff's department visitors, and the FBI until, ends up in handcuffs barefoot, being led to a cruiser. Let me go back to the false imprisonment charge for a moment because I was going through all sorts of gaming. Yeah, go ahead.
Right.
That could be another reason why they haven't arrested her for that yet, because they just don't know. Like they just they might have evidence that she's actually not unalived. And that's probably why. That could be why. I don't know.
I was just going to say, I can think of it's not an innocent explanation, but I can think of an explanation that she has got some kind of fear, or she's in some kind of a situation where she needs to secrete her daughter away, and she doesn't want to engage, and she doesn't want to do anything else to give anybody any.
That's my opinion. I think that there's either something going on upstairs in her head, or she really feels that this is her child is in danger, and that's why she's not. Because a normal mother would be going crazy, right? A normal mother would be. I don't want to say she's not a normal mother. I'm just saying a mother would be going nuts that her daughter's missing. She'd be posting pictures all over the place. But it seems like she doesn't want to do that. So that's telling me that maybe she doesn't want anybody else to find her.
Clues. And by the way, it appears, at least from what I've heard or what I've read, that there isn't any kind of a custodial order that would prevent her from doing this. So if that's what it is, and if that's driving her or the motivation, there isn't necessarily anything illegal about it.
I appreciate that, buddy.
Anything that she's done.
Well, CPS came along weeks ago and said 72 hours to produce the child, but it wasn't the police. Like in Lori Vallow's case, the police said produce the children, and then when she didn't, they arrested her. They chased her to Hawaii and they arrested her. That did not happen in this case, which surprises me. But I want to ask you.
Yeah, but I think in the Lori Vallow case, things were a little different because I think they had evidence that there was something going on. There was, I don't think they have evidence here that there's been any crime other than the fact that the daughter's not there. I mean, they have video surveillance of her all over the place. They have her along the entire route, Colorado, Nebraska, and back, right? So I'm pretty sure the FBI is involved in this because this is a tri-state this is not just one state in California. There's a lot of states. I'm assuming they've been along this route here for the past 30 days, and I don't think they've seen enough evidence where they have a body or they have any significant evidence that there is a body.
About that false imprisonment charge, because I was gaming all kinds of scenarios. Was the false imprisonment someone, like you said, coming out of the woodwork saying, I've seen that crazy lady on TV and this is what happened to me? Was it possibly false imprisonment of Melody that maybe they saw somewhere along that road trip? Or maybe could it have been the police who were in her home and she barred them from leaving with some envelopes or evidence? Is that possible, any of those scenarios?
Anything is, as a lot of judges tell me when you ask the question, is it possible? And they say objection, speculation, sustained, anything is possible. Look, anything is possible. What is most likely? I always talk about bell curves, and the most likely scenario. The most likely scenario is that somebody came forward and said that she did something like this to me, or something in connection with the investigation. She wouldn't let me leave, and I wanted to leave. They used that as a pretext to try to arrest her at this point, because they didn't have, and they still don't have, at least what's been reported, a crime here. And if they don't have a crime, they can't just arrest her to sweat her, I think is what the expression is. But they could arrest her if they had an independent crime in order to try to figure out or get her to talk once she was in custody.
Yeah, that's my guess.
I learn something new every day, sweating them.
Of course, I guess I'm more of an optimist. I don't know. I just I hope for the best, right? Let's hope she's safe. Let's hope she's not, unalived. That's the hope.
Out. Quick question about the mugshot, and I only have 20 seconds left, but they didn't release a mugshot with this lady, and the bail's at $100,000. I don't know that false imprisonment is typically $100,000 bail, but she does seem like the kind that's a flight risk. Weigh in on both of those, the mugshot and the bail amount.
I think the mugshot will come out, but somebody will make a public records request if the media hasn't done it already, and then usually that gets complied with. The bail amount is or can be, according to schedule. I haven't looked at the Santa Barbara bail schedule, but for most felonies, $50,000 or $100,000 would not be out of line.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download.
All right, so let's get out of here. So obviously, I'll keep following this. I know Gazella's been all over this too. She's awesome. A lot of people on this case, truly, concerned. Is truly concerned. Hopefully, there's a reasonable explanation for what's going on. That's just all I can say. All right, I'm going to play one more thing, then I'm going to get the hell out of here. This is a case that's being reopened again here in California. This is a decades-old case here. So it's been 32 years since the unaliving of a school teacher and mother, Sherilyn Hockley. Elise Soviar, Placer County Sheriff's Office Communication Manager, breaks down the case on News Nation Live. And I'll have to go over this. I wanted to go over the Sandra Birchmore case tonight too, but I ran a little bit too long on the Ryan Larsen case, but that's okay. We can do that next week. All right, so here we go.
Hard as an adult, it's hard as a mom, and I don't think that ever gets a lot easier. It's always a little bit of a sting that's just right there.
A cold case getting renewed attention in Northern California. It's been 32 years since the tragic death of elementary school teacher and mother of three, Sherilyn Hockley. Hockley was found dead in her minivan on Halloween of 1993. Her car located just a mile from Eureka Elementary School in Granite Bay, California, where she taught. Now, that car remains the only known crime scene in the case. Now, the Placer County Sheriff's cold case team is taking another look, and we want to talk about it. Joining me now to discuss is Elise Soviar, the communication manager with Placer County Sheriff's Office in Northern California. Welcome to you. Thank you very much for being on the show today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so we want to talk about this resurgence in the interest in the cold case. The Placer County Sheriff's Office recently released that YouTube video that we saw part of, Placer Unsolved, Granite Bay teacher's cold case, where Hockley's daughters dove into who their mom was. We want to take a little more of a listen to that. Let's listen.
She was such an incredible teacher to us, but she was also such an incredible teacher to all of the kids that she taught through the years. And Mom just had such an
This case here reminds me so much of the Jody Husentrude case, and I'm going to try to dig into that too for next week.
impact for good on the lives of those she knew.
So I grew up in Sacramento, which is near this. I remember this story, and this video has certainly sparked awareness, Elise. But how about those new tips coming in? What are you getting?
Thank you, Mustang. Like I said, feel free to post your channels in here. Mustang's amazing. Paula's amazing. We got John Paul Hansen. That's always amazing too. Shibby's amazing. Jenny's amazing. Everybody that's got channels, if you got channels, or if you know people who have channels, throw them in here. I'm pretty sure that Robin Swan's got a channel too. I don't know if anybody has that channel. They can throw it in here. I have no problem posting good creators, good content creators, no matter what they do. Everybody can have, different opinions. It doesn't matter. Peggy O is amazing. Peggy O's got an awesome channel. I try to make it over there every single night. We got Southern Gal 2 with a great channel. Dee Dee, who's usually here, has got a great channel. Dee Dee's amazing too. I hope she's okay. I hope she's fine. And everybody else. So let's go here.
Yeah, so since we were
That's why I give people the wrenches in here so that if they have channels, feel free to post them in here. Yeah, Amy G is awesome too. Amy G is great, and Charlie Manson's awesome too. Really does a good job. So feel free to throw your channels in here. Don't mind doing that.
Released this video, we initially released it in September. We have gotten a handful of tips and just people reaching.
And I always forget Mind of Monsters too. Mind of Monsters is awesome.
Out because it was a case that definitely shook the community and was just shocking. So any little bit of information, we continue to ask people to call in and share that with us.
And how does the Placer County Sheriff decide what cold cases to put out? I know that you guys have a lot of them. How did you go back to this one?
So we've actually put together a cold case team that was developed in 2023 because of advancements in DNA technology. So that team has been combing through all of our different cold cases, looking what types of evidence exist and if there's anything.
When was Isaiah Keys, Israel Keys around? Israel Keys, hold on a second. I always forget now. Israel Keys, he died December 1st, 2012. Committed at least 20 other crimes across the United States from the late 1990s. Span of crimes 1996 to 2001. He was born in 78, so hold on a second here. 1978, 19 minus. He would have been 15, so it's not him. Okay. Never mind.
that could use re-examining, largely because of the advancements that we have in technology now.
That's wonderful. You know, and I wanted to ask you about what new DNA-related techniques are being used to re-examine evidence in this case, because as you just mentioned, so much has changed over the last 3 decades. Has anything new come to the surface that you can share with us in terms of the evidence? Because we're talking about the crime scene being the minivan, but that's all we know about.
Okay, thank you, Paula. Thank you, Chuck. Yeah, I thought it was a little bit too early for him to.
Yeah, so there was a rope found near her body, which has been tested in the past, but it's been many years since that's been tested, and there are a couple of other items within the minivan that are being tested. Some of
So she was. This lady here is part of Placer County. I think that's where Kyrie Rodney went missing too. Right in, was that Placer County?
of which never were, just because at the time in 1993, this DNA technology didn't exist to be able to completely recreate a DNA profile to potentially link anybody associated with this situation.
You know, that is such an important note about the rope. I've been covering the Gilgo case, the Long Island serial killer case, and I visited one of the crime labs, and they were talking about a machine called an MVAC that could extract DNA from things like a rope. So we certainly hope that there will be some investigative leads on that. You know, this cold case team, I think is so fascinating, includes the prosecutor in the Golden State Killer case, Anne Marie Schubert. Here's what she had to say. We'll listen together.
The newest technology that we're seeing now, particularly in the world of DNA, that gives me tremendous hope that the case can get moved forward.
Yeah, I'm so pleased that she is on your team. Tell us a little bit more about the cold case and about Anne Marie Schubert being on it.
Yeah, so this cold case team is made up of very tenured detectives and investigators. Anne Marie Schubert, of course, is a fantastic addition. She played a key role in the prosecution of the Golden State Killer, which was another case that really haunted the entire state of California for many years and traumatized people during their childhoods. So to have her on our team, she has that critical eye. She's been at the forefront of this advancement in DNA technology. She understands what type of evidence can be re-examined and that can really lead to potential DNA hits.
Well, we certainly wish you all the best. I hope that you will come back on and bring us developments as they come to you. Communication Manager with the Placer County Sheriff's Office, Elise Silviar. Thank you very much for being with us today.
All right, so that's the end of that there. I'll keep an eye on that too. I'm glad you actually took stuff up instead of putting false information up. Oh, thank you. Yes, thank you very much. I mean, Israel Keys probably gets blamed for almost every single murder that happens west of the Rockies. But there's so many other. I'm just looking at different types of Nassau. Joseph Nassau was the one I think I was actually thinking of here. Hold on a second here. Especially in Northern California. So he might have been too old. Span of crimes, January 1974, August 14, 1994. His last known was 31-year-old Tracy Lynn Tafoya, who was found unalived on August 14th, 1994. September 19, 1993, a body of 38-year-old Pamela Ruth Parsons, a waitress, was found in Yuba County, California. Hold on a second. Where is Yuba County? Yuba County? Yeah, that's up there. That's up there. That's could be him. Could have been him for sure. Joseph Nassau could have been. Sad about the UPS plane crash. Yeah, I was going to do that too. All right, I'm going to get out of here, but I'll look into that too because that's what did I do that for? Well, sorry. I don't know why I just did that. Let's. Hold on a second. But wasn't Thor Christensen and Anthony arguing around too? Yes. I have to look into Joseph Nassau on this. Nassau on this too, though, because that's right in the age range. 19, 22, 56. This 38, Pamela Ruth Parsons, 31. All right. So, anyways, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys have a great week. Thank you, Paula, for coming in. I really appreciate it. I'll get your comments in once I get out of here. I did go out again to the Esther Sanctuary tonight, earlier yesterday. I just didn't have time to upload it on my phone for the Kathy Milligan case. But all right, buddy, thanks. Chuck is awesome. Chuck is amazing. He's really good with serial killers. Mustang, thank you so much. You're awesome. Thank you so much for coming in. Thanks, Chuck, for coming in. Appreciate it. Chuck does amazing stuff too. I'm gonna have to set my notifications for the live he does with Nicole Watt was in here too. Nicole Watt's awesome. Jenny 8675309 was in here. Jenny's amazing. Awesome person. We had Shibby's in here. Shibby's great. Shibby's one of the best supporters. He's awesome. Even if he is a little Canadian. I'll tell you. Should stop saying it. All right. So Miranda was in here. Miranda, I hope you're well. I hope you're doing better. We love Miranda. Miranda's an amazing person. She's just always been here. She's a great supporter. Wouldn't be the same without her. I miss her when she's not here. So I feel bad I didn't see Heather tonight. I hope she's doing well. Doms was in here. Thank you, Doms, for coming in. Really appreciate it. You guys are all awesome. You just are. I hope Dee Dee's okay too, and I hope Southern Gal's okay too. She did a live last night. She was really awesome. I caught some of it. Southern Gal's an amazing person. She's just a great creator. She's awesome. Boston Christian, thank you so much for coming in. We had Carol in here. I know Carol was in here. Carol's awesome too. We had another new person in here. Swan, Robin Swan was in here. Thank you so much for coming in. I usually go live every single Saturday night, early Sunday morning. Who else was in here? Carol was in here. Had a nice crowd tonight. Good showing. Awesome people. And I'm probably going to miss some people for, but I know there was another new person in here. Unindicted was in here too. Tracy, I almost forgot Tracy. Tracy is amazing. We love Tracy in here. Tracy, I hope you're feeling well, Tracy. Smarter than anything. Tracy's got some really good content stuff too. Nicole Watt was in here. Nicole Watt's awesome. I think she probably went to sleep. I'm good at putting people to sleep. That's for sure. But that Mino Dino was in here. Mino Dino's awesome. Just wish he'd get a phone to wasn't around then. Alec Gillo, the Hollywood Ripper. Yes, I remember him. I might try to make it into Amy's. I'm not sure. I got a lot of housework to do, but I probably will. Feel free to go over there. Amy's awesome. Dee Dee's fine. She's just tired. Okay, good. Thank you, buddy. All right. All right, so I'm going to get out of here. Everybody have a great week. Whatever you do, don't die. Let me play my outro, and I hope you guys all have a good week. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Thank you, everybody that watches the replay, too, because if it wasn't for the replay people, I probably wouldn't have any views. All right, so let's go to this. And I'll see you guys all later. Have a great week. Thank you.